Ministry says Estonia Ambassador Margus Laidru has been ordered to leave the country by February 7. The statement adds Estonia's diplomatic representation from now on will be downgraded to a chargé d'affaires heading the mission in Moscow. The ministry says the move was made in retaliation for Estonia's new unfriendly step to radically reduce the size of the Russian embassy in Tallinn. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov claims Moscow was willing to negotiate with Ukraine in the early months of the war, but the U.S. and other Western nations advised Kiev against it. Lavrov's remarks on a visit to South Africa, similar to those made last year by Russian President Vladimir Putin, who said his country was ready for talks, but Ukraine's Western allies prevented that from happening. News and analysis at townhall.com. The European Union set to impose sanctions on several more Iranian officials suspected of involvement in a brutal crackdown on protesters.
The EU already has 3 rounds of sanctions on Iranian officials and organizations. It's targeted government ministers, military officers, and the country's so-called morality police, citing human rights abuses over the protests that began last fall after the death of a young woman in police custody for a dress code violation. The sanctions will not extend to the Revolutionary Guard Corps because such an action could only follow a ruling by an EU member country that would condemn the Corps for terror acts. George Williams reporting.
The Polish Prime Minister says his country will be asking Germany for permission to send German-made Leopard tanks to Ukraine. But even if Berlin does not give its blessing, the Polish Prime Minister says that Warsaw will make its own decisions on a tank transfer. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters, IMP. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
Welcome to it. Perhaps a winter weather Monday evening, at least. Not
I really wish that Mother Nature would just make up her doggone mind.
It's New Mexico,
figure
man.
Nothing out, man.
No, it's 70s one day and a chance of snow the next. That's southeast New Mexico.
I feel like I know we can't use this joke anymore because of what happened, but the late, great Robin Williams used to say, flowers are like Anne Heche. I'm out. I'm in. May she rest in peace.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace also. That joke was, that was a couple lives ago.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a chance of some snow and rain tonight. We'll get you up to date on all that. We do have a winter weather advisory that will take effect beginning at 6 p.m. This evening and remaining in effect through noon tomorrow. But we'll get you up to date on all that here in just a bit. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Sorry, Cowboys fans. Not feeling so good this morning.
I'm not a 49ers fan either, but you love to see it.
It was a good game, though. I mean, as far as back and forth, and I mean, kicker was a little nervous again. Dak threw some picks, but it was a pretty good game as far as competitive. It was both teams were in it till, relatively towards the end there. So yeah, it was at least a competitive playoff game. Of course, I'm not a fan of either team, so I can say that without being all disgruntled and everything. So.
I want to say, this is kind of for somebody who knows very little about sports ball, but I want to say that The assistant coach from the 49ers became the head coach of the Miami Dolphins this season. And
McDaniel?
Yeah, McDaniels.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason I know that, is because Dan Soder, a comic that I follow, is his best friend. And so he became a Dolphins fan this year because of that.
Okay.
Fins up. But I just thought it was funny that the first season McDaniels is off the Niners, they sweep right through the playoffs.
Well, Miami's was improved as well.
They did step up their game.
So, it's and San Fran hasn't won anything yet. Mm-hmm. They still got.
That's true.
They still got to get got more games under their belt.
And for what it's worth, I got to give it to the Cowboys. You made it further than you usually do. So good job. Good on you.
Is it enough to secure McCarthy's job for next year, or Dak?
I feel like it should be. I mean, it was a rough start to the season, but they really stepped it up in the back half.
It depends. Depends on Jerry Jones and how patient he is or not patient. So
Jerry Jones to me always looks like he's struggling to not call people boy. I'm just saying he strikes me as that guy.
Well, I'm guessing that. I mean, finally their kicker made a field goal, but he had the first extra point blocked, and the announcers were quick to point out that it doesn't matter that it got blocked. That sucker was going to miss anyway because the way the angle they were showing, they were like, "Look, that thing was already going left before it got blocked." It was like, "There's no way this would have been good." So, but he did. So I don't know. He's probably still going to be looking for a job in the offseason, but we'll see. Anyway, move on. Now at least Cowboys fans, you can kick back and just watch the playoffs without getting all angsty.
No aggression, no anger in your system. You just kick your feet up and just enjoy football.
Yeah, there you go. I did see a decent movie over the weekend. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Devotion.
Okay.
And it's based on the true story of a black Korean War pilot. And it's more of a friendship tale a little bit, but they basically get sent to Korea. They were a little too young to miss World War II, and this aviator being one of the first black aviators, he was kind of an enigma. So he was, anytime he does something, it kind of puts, they spotlight it. So he's kind of a more famous pilot in the Navy. And so it's based on a true story, but spoiler alert, not everybody makes it out of it. And it's about the story of that relationship between the two men and everything else. But it's a pretty good movie. It's right there with your Dunkirks and your Saving Private Ryans and all that. It's in that same
1917s and whatnot.
Well, it's Korean War, so it was a little bit later than that.
War film.
Yeah, 50s. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's and to be honest, there's not a lot of war films about the Korean War, so it's kind of neat to see that perspective. And it's Navy pilots, and they're getting the new Corsairs, and so it's kind of neat. It's the buddies of the pilots and kind of all that. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Yeah. But it's all Amazon Prime. You can watch it for free.
I saw a trailer for a movie that's not out yet. It comes out January 27th on Netflix. It looks fine, but I'm pretty sure it's basically just a ripoff of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called You People.
Okay.
Stars Jonah Hill. I didn't know couldn't tell who the young lady was. Basically, lovelorn guy.
I think I've seen the commercial for this.
Ends up falling in love with an African American girl, and wants to ask her to marry him. Has to get up the gumption to talk to her parents, and then she meets her parents, and it's Eddie Murphy and somebody else, and they're very staunch Muslim, black people, and it's basically like how his Jewish family is going to interact with their Muslim black family, and it's like, this is Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. This is the Sidney Poitier movie from the 60s,
right?
Which they already remade, with Guess Who. That was with Ashton Kutcher, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that was so long ago. The people that are alive today, they probably don't really exist.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It feels like the story's been done,
Well, it probably has. I mean, how many times do we see the Switcheroo movie?
Yeah.
Where they switch bodies and they, whether it was peeing in a fountain or get hit with a flower pot or whatever it is.
Speaking of Ashton, I don't know if he's got if Netflix has money in him or what, but he's kind of all over Netflix. Like
He might have a contract deal.
Maybe. I just started watching that 90s show over the weekend, and I have thoughts.
I keep saying that it's the same parents but different kids.
It's Red and Kitty.
Yeah.
It's still the parents, but now they're basically playing host to Leia, who is Eric and Donna's daughter. Eric and Donna from the original 70s show.
Okay.
It's their daughter. And so Leia, who's I think 15 at this point, and all of the kids in the neighborhood. And it's like Kelso's kid is one of them.
So it's all the kids of the kids.
It is, except, well, sort of. Okay. It's not bad. It's not a bad show.
Yeah.
It's got charm. The kids, that's okay. The reason that 70s show worked is because of the charm of the characters. That 80s show felt way shoehorned, like they were trying to shoehorn in references. This show feels like an amalgamation of both of those shows.
Okay.
Like the kids have charm, and I feel like they could stand on their own, but they're really shoehorning in these 90s references. And like
well, they kind of did it with the 70s.
They did. Maybe I just didn't recognize it because I didn't live through the 70s, but it didn't feel as shoehorned in as it does in this situation.
Yeah.
Like Leo, who played by Tommy Chong, is back, and he has like this bit where he's like, "You guys watching this show on MTV called The Real World?"
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
I think they have to do that in the beginning to establish that this is 90s.
And that's sort of what I'm picking up on is if you go back and watch the first season of that 70s show.
I think they did the same thing.
It wasn't
70s.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah, pet rock.
The first season of 70s show. So my theory is that show is sort of taking that same path. They have to introduce characters.
I'm assuming it's the same writers and everything.
But here, there's for every good point they have, good jokes, funny. It was fun to watch. It just they shoehorn in diversity.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a new neighbor, and she's got two kids, one who is a white kid and one who is a black girl.
Okay.
And I understand mixed race family. That sure, he's painfully white. Like there's not even like a hint of mixed in him that I can tell. The Fez character, or the standalone minority character, is an openly gay Asian character, which cool. But in the perspective of 1995, that kind of it usually didn't look like that. You see what I'm saying?
It
feels like it's trying to be told at three different time spaces.
Yeah,
and it kind of throws it for a loop. But like I said, it's not bad. I'm definitely going to give it a shot and finish the season. But
I'll check it out. I was not a huge fan of that 70s show.
I was.
I mean, I watch it passingly, but I've never been into it. So I'll check it out. But I haven't been like itching to check it out one way or the other. That show's just on my radar. It's not something I care about one way or the other. So let me give you the rundown. I just saw the time, so I got enough time to get our interview in. Jason Burke, commander of VFW Post 12184, joined me to discuss, get an update, and talk about their upcoming golf tournament in May. So we're going to play our interview with Jason here in just a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Elliot Rodriguez with Lone Depot is going to join us. He comes in once a month, gives us an update on kind of the housing market and talking about helping families, buy their homes. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, John LeMay with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico is going to join us. He's going to be talking about his new book and talk about some Sunday Fun Day coming up at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. Plus, we'll have all of your features, include the news of the local and national variety, along with your Wall Street business updates. It is Monday. That means we'll have your Smiley Wooten's livestock report here in just a few, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do anything else, let's take a gander at that weather. Like I said, we got some snow coming.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like we've got a pretty big storm system on the way, and that'll be affecting us tonight and into Tuesday. Clouds coming in today. Our afternoon high in the low to mid 50s. We'll have rain this evening, changing over to snow after midnight. Little bit of accumulation. Our low in the upper 20s, and then snow on Tuesday morning. Clearing up a little bit in the afternoon, breezy, and our high near 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 33 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 52%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. We do have a winter weather advisory that's going to take effect beginning at 6 p.m. this evening, remaining in effect through noon tomorrow. For today, we are looking at a 30% chance at rain showers after 5 o'clock today. Cloudy for the most part, highs near 50 expected. Winds will be out of the northeast, 15 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, rain likely before 11, then rain and snow showers between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., then changing over fully to snow after 2 a.m. Expect an overnight low of 29 with east winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Our chance of precipitation is at 90%. New snow accumulations expected to be around 1 to 3 inches overnight tonight. For you Tuesday, we're looking at a 50% chance of snow showers before 11 a.m., cloudy, but gradually becoming mostly sunny. Highs of 45 tomorrow with north winds 10 to 15. They're saying we might see another half inch of snow tomorrow morning. But it looks like with 45 for a high and sunny, probably most of it will be melting by tomorrow afternoon. For Tuesday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 24, north winds 5 to 10. Wednesday, mostly sunny and 45, north winds 5 to 10. Thursday, mostly sunny and 42. Sunny and 48 on Friday, and we'll be in the mid-50s for the weekend. 55 and sunny on Saturday, sunny and 54 Sunday. All right, it is 19 minutes after 7. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then play our interview with Jason Burke, commander of our local VFW post. That's up next. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good January run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves and light yearlings, young, middle-aged bred cows. We expect to sell 1,400 head, break it down like this: 75 to 100 weighing cows and bulls, 75 to 100 pairs bred cows, 1,250 1,300 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 30 bred cows, excellent quality black and red Angus cross cows, bred to Angus bulls, mostly third trimester, 4 to 7 years old, 181 calves, reputation quality, Emil Keeney & Sons, Cornudas, Texas, black white-faced crossbred calves, Cattle Master 5, 7-way at Brandon, 450, 650 pounds, 100 calves, H-Bar Y Ranch, Carlsbad, New Mexico, ex-quality black Angus and Brangus cross calves, cattle weaned 70 days, 2 rounds of shots, and Decamax, 400, 600 pounds. 55 calves, Field Ranch, Magdalena, New Mexico, ex-quality black Angus cross calves, shots at Brandon, 500, 600 pounds. 62 steer calves, Barrow Cattle Company, Andrews, Texas, ex-quality black white-faced and red white-faced Angus and Hereford cross calves, cattle weaned 60 days, 2 rounds of shots, 450, 600 pounds. 79 calves, Zamora Ranch, Magdalena, New Mexico, ex-quality red and yellow Charolais cross calves, shots at Brandon, 400, 550 pounds, and 45 calves, Snow Land Cattle Company, Dale City, Texas. Good quality 1/8 ear cross calves, weaned 30 days, 2 rounds of shots, 400, 600 pounds. Several smaller consignments of high-quality weaned calves and light yearlings with condition. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs bred cows about 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10 to 10:30. Fairly short on cows, so don't be late. We expect to sell 1,400 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Drive into 2023 with a little extra fold-in money during Sell-Off Mania at Roswell Honda. With savings across the lot, like a 2015 Toyota Camry for just $289 a month, a 2017 Kia Optima for just $259 a month, or a 2016 Hyundai Elantra for just $189 a month. Get a 12-pack and grab cash from the Cash Cube just for stopping by, a gas card or a smartwatch with a test drive, and an Amazon gift card with any purchase. And sign up to win a $400 Visa gift card to be given away Saturday, January 28th at 1 p.m. Sell-Off Mania, on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio back this morning, Commander for our local Roswell VFW Post 12184, which I always botch. Commander Jason Burke back with us. Good morning. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good. So how's life at the VFW Post today?
It's going. We're getting busy.
Good.
We're getting busy.
Busy's good.
Busy's good. Membership's growing.
That's excellent.
It is excellent. And when membership grows, of course, we can get busier, which is great.
More bodies, more ideas, more things going.
Definitely. So, yeah. We can do more things for our local veterans. We can do more things for our community. And, we're there for each other as well.
And I love it, too, that the fact that, we've got, our two American Legion posts here and our VFW, that it's where at one point we didn't have any of that. They all kind of, things happened and none of that was available. So it's great to see that our veterans across the city here are kind of getting back and getting these organizations going and there's always strength in numbers, and it's great to see that. Now we got not one, two, but three and more entities actually that are all kind of looking out for veterans in our community.
You got the VFW, you got two American Legion posts, you've got the Chavez County Veterans Association. I think there's a Vietnam Veterans Association, and then of course you've got our your New Mexico Department of Veteran Affairs down on Southeast Main. Those they're there also.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of great resources.
A lot of good stuff. It's a good place to be a veteran.
Sure, absolutely, but. The great thing is here, if you are looking at, if you're a veteran out there and you're looking for to make a difference, get involved, or maybe you're looking to just get back together with people that kind of chewed some of the same dirt that you did. Love to invite you to come on out to the next VFW meeting and get involved and be a part of all the. Like I know Jason's going to talk about it here in a minute, but got some events coming up that we want to put on people's radar and things, and they could. All hands on deck on that one too, I'm sure. So.
Sure, most definitely.
Yeah. But so your next meeting will be here.
Our next meeting's actually this coming Thursday.
Okay, very good. So it'll be this upcoming Thursday. So you normally meet is it third or fourth Thursday?
The last Thursday of the month.
Okay, very good.
At Grace Community Church.
Okay,
7:00 p.m.
Yep,
that's where we meet.
And come on out, and then of course all veterans. Love to have you come out to the meeting and sit and hear what's going on. And of course, if you want to talk more about being a part of the post, Jason or some of the folks there will be happy to get you applications and make sure you're eligible and things like that to do that.
Yeah, and just real quick, eligibility. Basically, to sum it up, you've had to have had a hazard fire pay or imminent danger pay, basically in a combat zone, conflict area, and also to South Korean service as well.
You know what's sad but true is odds are if you've served the United States military in the last 20-25 years,
definitely
you're pretty much you're pretty much qualified for the VFW. Which it's great we have these great Americans that are there to do it, but it's sad we've had so much warfare that more people are qualifying because of what the service they have to serve in.
I just can't wait to see what it looks like when the Space Force can finally qualify.
I know. I was just thinking. I was like, man, I wonder how long it's going to be before we have a Space Force member of our VFW or any of our American Legion or anything like that.
Exactly.
Too. So yeah, that's coming.
Enterprise.
That's coming. We're going to have to. Yeah,
man.
Picard will be one member or something like that. Kirk.
That's about as foreign as it gets.
But let's talk a little bit about some of the things you got coming up here.
Okay.
You guys have a golf tournament that you're organizing, putting together right now.
We do.
And I know a bunch of people's ears perked up because we got a lot of people that are going to golf anyway. Might as well let's go ahead and get you and sign up and be a part of the tournament.
Yeah, definitely.
Win some prizes and stuff and help a great cause.
And that's a good point. I mean, it's going to be May 19th and May 20th out at the Country Club.
Okay.
There's two different competitions. Okay, so kind of forgive me. I don't know a whole lot about golf. I like to golf. I've got golf clubs. I've even got like a Callaway hat and stuff, and I look like a golfer. But
you can pull off the
hey,
look.
you know what? My slice is the most impressive slice you'll ever see in your life. I promise you.
I might give you a run because
it is amazing. I don't know.
I'm a lefty.
Okay.
And you ever been to the Nimmy driving range up here?
I haven't tried that one yet because see, there's too many buildings.
Well, I
don't know, slice it.
I'm a lefty. I got to the extreme right of the driving range.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And whacked the ball, and I'm still putting it over the net on the left side of the driving range.
Well, so I'm right-handed. When I go out to Nancy Lopez golf course, the city golf course, I go to the farthest left side of the driving range. And it'll just nice. I mean, I can put 300 yards on that thing, but it's going to make a hard right halfway through it.
So if you had an 18-hole golf course, everything dogleg right, you'd probably be Jack Nicklaus.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm hitting people in that last. As a matter of fact, I almost hit my boss one time.
Nice.
So it was a Saturday, and I was off that day. No, it was a Monday, and I think I was off that day anyway. And I hit one, and it's just taking a nice hard right turn, and I'm watching. It was like there's a golf cart, and there's people in it. Oh, no. And one of the guys gets out. I was like, well, what's he doing here? He's but anyway, you know.
Your favorite four-letter word is four over there.
Yeah.
But for those that don't have that wicked slice, or you do, come
even
on either way. It doesn't matter.
Slice.
Yeah.
But
bad golfers are just as welcome as the good ones.
You don't have to be a pro. You don't have to be good. I'm not going to be golfing in it, thank goodness. But so yeah,
was it like a scramble kind of deal?
Well, that's just it. So we've got a 4-man scramble,
okay,
and we call it a 2-man shootout, I believe, a 2-man team.
All right.
So the 2-man teams, that's on May 19th.
Okay.
That's going to be on that Friday, I believe. And then on the 20th is going to be the 4-man scrambles.
Okay.
2 flights. So we got a morning flight and an afternoon flight for both 19th and 20th.
Gotcha.
And so for the 4-man teams, it's $100 a player.
Okay.
And for the 2-man team, same thing, $100 a player.
Okay.
So really, I mean, what are greens fees? I don't know I haven't been out there in a while. I don't know what greens fees are.
And to be honest, it's a great way to, because usually how these work is, some people already have their 3-4 person teams and they're already, but a lot of times people are like, hey, I just want to golf. And, so if you have a team, you can sign up as a team, but usually sign up individually and usually the pro, that's kind of one of the things that I think, I don't know if that's like in their official job title, but they're the keeper of the organizing of scrambles and tournaments.
Yeah, I don't know how that part of it's going to work.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
But they kind of usually know how to fit those pieces in and all that.
I think so.
But usually, like if you want to sign up individually, they put teams together based on their handicaps, and then they kind of go from there. So,
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not. One of my guys, Mac Dyer, one of our members, he's the
golf guru.
He's the guy. Him and also Bob Bolin, my adjutant.
Okay.
He's those are the two guys. They know more about it. They've actually organized golf tournaments before.
There's a science to it. And they know that.
I'm just one of the guys. Hey, tell me what you need me to do, and I'm going to do it.
You're the commander. You direct.
Exactly.
Delegate. You do this. You do that.
Yeah. On this one, I'm not commanding anything. You tell me what to do, and I'm going to do it because I don't know anything
and that's
about.
Again, no commander knows when to step back and let someone else take the reins there.
Exactly.
But I imagine right now is a good time if you're looking for sponsorships for like tee boxes and event sponsorships and things like that.
So that is what we do have. We're looking for sponsorships. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 different levels of sponsorships.
Okay.
It's a little time consuming. So I'll just kind of, talk about the Medal of Honor tier.
Okay.
That's the highest tier. It's a $1,500 sponsorship. Now, what that comes with, that's going to come with a big sign, out at the golf course. Your name's going to be on a banner. Of course, we're going to mention you on the radio for free, Facebook mentions. And also, you get a table. You get a reserve table at the banquet or at the reception afterwards.
Okay.
Where we're going to be giving out awards and stuff like that, silent auctions
and all that stuff. Yeah.
And that also comes with a team. So if you're a $1,500 Medal of Honor sponsor, you get a team with that too. You can put together a team.
Okay.
And then of course your Purple Heart tier, which is the lowest tier, that's a $200 sponsorship. Then you get your name on a small sign and a small banner. And you get some, some Facebook mention as well.
Sure, but all of it's you're gonna get some little bit of swag for your business or group there if you'd like.
Most definitely.
And then of course, all of this goes back to the VFW post, which goes back to the programs that support veterans and helping on our community here.
Absolutely.
So when you're out there whacking the ball around and having fun and bragging to your buddies and all that, you're doing good service for our veterans here in our community.
And there's other sponsorships. You can food and drink, longest putt sponsorship. You want to sponsor a hole.
Okay.
You want to sponsor a cart. We also we're going to have a silent raffle, and we're going to be giving out a raffle, silent auction, and swag bags. If you want to donate, to like swag bags, $200 cash or $200 worth of goods.
Okay.
Raffle $300 or $300 worth of goods. And for the silent auction, up to minimum value of $500.
Yeah.
So
and that's a great way to help out too. Is like maybe your business has great stuff that goes in swag bags, and you like to say, hey, let me donate a bunch of jerky or something to throw in the bags for all your players.
Yeah, everybody likes free stuff.
Absolutely,
and, that's what it's for.
I think half the reason people do these is for the goodie bag. They get for the event there,
and it's fun. There's going to be free food. It's going to be catered, of course.
Nice.
There's going to be food. There's going to be a nice reception or a banquet, afterwards where we're going to hand out awards. And you mentioned the cause. I'd like to, mention, talk
elaborate
about that
on that a little bit. Yeah.
Yes. So we're doing this for the benefit of Healing America's Heroes. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with that group.
Okay, that's the official organization. Okay.
Yes,
is it something like a Wounded Warrior or that vein of
just about? Yeah.
Okay.
So Healing America's Heroes, they're out at Fort Stanton.
Okay.
It was founded by a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
And what they do.
So is this more local than a national thing?
More local.
Okay,
yes,
sweet.
Yes, it's 100% local.
Love that. All right, cool.
Yeah. So they're out at Fort Stanton.
Okay.
And what they do is they offer their services to people suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay.
And not just combat veterans. It can be combat veterans, first responders,
anybody
victims.
who suffered PTSD in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Whether it's a home accident or in the line of duty, so to speak. Gotcha.
And it's for and it's totally free. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. You can go out there. They have it's like a 3 to 5 day program. I think it's a 3 or 5 day program, and they do therapeutic. They do like equine therapy, like horse therapy.
That's kind of like a trends in science here, and I know this sounds, but I've in the last 6 months I've heard more about using horses, for therapy for people dealing with all kind of mental health issues, not just PTSD, but like bipolar and other avenues of mental health. This equine, it's kind of a new part of the science where they're kind of saying, hey, and same places like your service dogs or your support animals. It's same ballpark, but they're having more success with the horses. I want to say equines all the time. No one calls them equines. Horses and things like that.
They do the equine therapy, and they also do therapy through fly fishing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they'll teach you how to make your own flies and how to use them and fly fish down there on that Ruidoso River.
That's been the official relaxing of your father for the last 12 generations.
And they also have professional help out there as well. Volunteers. And all of this is no cost to the veteran or the first responder.
And I'm guessing the volunteers are people that maybe walked in their shoes a little bit too. So
most definitely.
So,
a lot of them
when they're out fly fishing and doing all these activities and horseback riding, they're swapping, comparing stories and commiserating and kind of it's hard to explain. If two people that have been through something very similar in scope as far as impact. There is it's no different than people that are dealing with substance abuse or something like that. That's why support groups work so well for like AA and things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, it's people that can understand better. They're going to get through it better. And it's no different for people that, when you're, at least from a military, when people are going through war and stuff like that, and for people that never experienced that, it's hard to really give them a clear picture on what's going on in that person's
100%. It's hard to somebody who's never been through it. It's hard to talk to them about it.
Yeah.
And it's because it's just you try to paint them a picture.
Sure.
There's a book out there. It's written by a guy named Carl Marlantes.
Okay.
It's called What It's Like to Go to War.
Okay.
And he is a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
I read that book. And if you've never seen combat and you want to know what that person feels like, read that book.
That one kind of gives you the best.
That one, and I'm reading that book and I'm like, wow, this guy, he hits the nail on the head.
He's able to capture it in words.
He's able to paint that picture for you.
Interesting.
It's amazing. It's a really good book,
Yeah.
But one more thing about that Healing America's Heroes, they've recently had a water pump stolen.
Okay.
So a lot of the funds that we collect, somebody stole a water pump that they used to water the horses and vandalized a bunch of that
it's
stuff.
a tweaker looking for.
Man, I tell you what,
I'm guessing there's valuable metals in somewhere in those.
I guess so. Maybe there's some copper, some brass.
Yeah, that's the only thing I
don't
could
know.
see is why someone would do that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No different than these catalytic converters are going after on cars and whatnot. So
yeah, definitely.
It's sad that that's the world we live in right now. But so they can need some help getting that water pump replaced. Right
Absolutely.
Now. Maybe we can get them organized to come on the show here.
Most
and talk
definitely.
a little bit about their organization and
Absolutely.
and put their needs out for the public to see.
Oh,
if
that
they
would
can
be
help
amazing.
out.
The guy who runs the Healing America's Heroes, he's one of my members.
Oh, excellent.
Eddie Crane, and he's a really good guy.
Okay.
So that's what I'll do. I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
See if
we can set something up and get
we
them
can
to come
definitely
on and
bring him in here.
Yeah, that way we can put a spotlight on their organization and see if we can, along with the tournament helping them out financially here, but also, getting a spotlight on, get some grassroots people, boots on the ground here helping out.
Yeah,
too,
definitely.
So.
And one other, and also too, we're going to, the VFW, our post itself, we're going to raise some funds for ourselves as well for the golf tournament. We need a home. We're homeless right now.
Gotcha.
Grace Community Church has been amazing to us. They've been
very
letting us,
graceful.
very much so. Yeah, they've been letting us use their building, for our meetings, and greatly appreciate that. So, but if you don't mind, I'd also like to kind of talk up some of our. We've already got a couple of sponsors.
Excellent. Yeah, let's
for
let
our
the world
golf
know.
course. So Crumlin Auto Group.
Okay, they step up quite often.
They stepped up quite. Oh, they do. They're amazing. They stepped up and they're a Medal of Honor level sponsor. So of course they're going to get a team and everything.
Well, I know they've already got the team assembled. They're a collective group of golfers.
Oh
in the Crumlin
man, I
Auto
tell you
group,
what,
so.
lots of golfers in the Crumlin
Mr.
Auto
Crumlin
Group.
on down. They're all big time golfers.
Yes,
so, yeah.
sir. And Desert Hills Electric as well.
Okay.
So
good deal. Well, great for them stepping up early. The gauntlet's been dropped, so you can.
There we go. There's
see if you can out-donate the Crumlin Auto Group and
Crumlin Auto Group
Desert
and Desert Hills.
Electric, so.
And Crumlin Auto Group, they're amazing. They helped us out a lot in the parade. They helped us to fund the parade.
Absolutely, yeah.
They participated in the parade. They let us borrow vehicles. Their big old jumbotron that they have out there on West 2nd Street, that big billboard.
Yep.
They advertised it. Yeah,
and just so I'm on in the American Legion. They've given us money for scholarships and things for our stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're great.
They're big supporters of veterans and many other organizations in our community.
Definitely.
But veterans as well. So it does not surprise me that they're right at the top of the list already on this one. So that's great. But Mark May 18th and 19th.
19th and 20th.
Okay,
May 19th and 20th out at the Country Club.
Yes, mark that down. But if you're wanting to sponsor a tee box or a main or bigger sponsorship from the Medal of Honor on down levels, now's the time to reach out and do that. What's probably the best way to get a hold of you guys to set up sponsorships?
My phone number is 575-910-1860.
Very good.
Call, text. I'm at work most of the week now. If you send me a text message, I might not be able to get to it right away, but I definitely will by.
You'll be on it pretty quick.
Exactly.
Especially if you're like, I got $1 million to give you, he'll get you. I'm just kidding. No, I'm really. If you do that, he will call you quick.
Yeah,
I got a suitcase full of cash
you
laying
get
right out here.
Big sign.
Like, I'll be right there. Of course, you can always reach out on social media, Facebook. There is a Roswell VFW. Just look for. You can type in Roswell VFW or VFW 1218 184.
Yep.
It should pop right
Also
up.
on LinkedIn as well.
Okay, so if you do LinkedIn.
a lot of businesses on LinkedIn.
Sure.
We do have a LinkedIn page.
Great.
It's VFW Post 12184, Roswell VFW.
Perfect.
Same
so
thing.
if you you do things on the professional side of social media.
Yes, sir.
I'm completely unprofessional, so I don't have one of those.
Yeah,
So-
you got to kind of be careful on it.
Exactly, too. And of course, if you want to learn more about becoming a member of the VFW here, come on out this Thursday to the next meeting at Grace Community Church, 6 p.m.
7
p.m.
o'clock.
You can come out at 6 though and walk around.
You
and
can
stuff.
hang out.
There's always stuff going on over
there's-
there. So, and it's a church, so if you catch them right around 6. You'll probably stumble into somebody's dinner. And,
It's possible. I think they're actually the choir is actually practicing. I believe
Around
at
that time,
too. Yeah,
so get a pre-concert before you go on to the VFW meeting here. So we meet at another First United Methodist, another great church in our community. And some of the nights we meet, they've got Zumba going on before. So depending on which one you go to, you might get a workout or get a concert.
Hey, there we go. Hey. When are you going to join the VFW?
I need to get on the stick
you
there
need
and
to
do
get
that
out there.
too. But
Your service qualifies.
I am. I'm running out of Thursdays though. That's the problem.
yeah, only so many of those to go around.
Absolutely, but come be a part, and love to have you. And of course, if you're a veteran in need, if you're listening and you're like, hey, I'm looking to get some resources, don't hesitate to reach out to our local VFW, our American Legion, our Chaves County Veterans, the Health Department. There's a lot of resources for you out here. But if you're not sure, VFW, American Legion, and reach out to any of those. They'll be happy to get you set up with whatever, whether it's through, hooking up to VA benefits to just resources for some help here in town.
Absolutely. And if we don't have if we don't have the means to help you, then we'll find it for you.
Absolutely.
We'll make phone calls. We'll find, I had a gentleman reach out to me last year, who had some stuff for his father. His father was a Korean War veteran, moving out to California. I'm calling VFW Post from San Francisco to San Diego, getting this guy some help, So yeah, if I don't,
and that happens all the time. Every veterans organization in our community, I've heard, where a veteran, or even if it's just a traveler gets stuck in town and car breaks down and doesn't have the money to get a room. VFW, American Legion, we've pulled together at times.
We've
said,
done
let's
that.
get this guy a room, or let's get this family a room for the night.
Gas money, we've donated, we've given gas money, and
that's just what happens when a veteran reaches out in this community. So
absolutely,
so there are help, there's resources, and if you want to get involved with that community and give back, maybe you're one of the ones. I don't know how many times we hear that too, where they, it's kind of like when victims of domestic violence, they kind of survive and come through it. A lot of times they're the best advocates for those next victims and helping them through. So it's really cool. But Jason, is there anything we missed that we wanted to cover?
Not that I know of. I don't think so. What I can do is I can leave some of this golf tournament information with you,
and we'll spread the word.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And if people need to get in contact with you, we'll make sure we
There's
can make
some phone
that happen.
numbers on there as well.
Okay.
Bob's and Max is on there as well, but mine's on there, and most definitely give me a call or one of those other numbers. And
the sooner the better, too. I know we're the land of manana, but it's like, it's May.
Yeah.
I got plenty of time.
No, we need to get this thing going now.
Yeah. Especially now with getting the sponsorships and that stuff. And I'm telling you, once the word gets out to the golf circuit that this tournament's there, then the spaces, the teams will fill up quick.
Well, I work in the car industry. I work in the automotive industry. So lots of golfers, like you just said. Mac, he's in oil and gas. Lots of golfers. And so
it's the official sport of business schmoozing, and so we got a lot of that.
And Bob Bolin, he worked for Admiral Beverage for a long time. And so he knows all the places where all the golfers hang out, and so it's just kind of we kind of got it covered there as far as
turning over the rocks on who's golfing and all that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. No. But get your team, sign up, and let's come have some fun that weekend and whack the ball around and tell our fishing stories and help some veterans and help this great organization so they can help these folks locally here with PTSD. That's great. And we'll get them on here too.
Yeah, most definitely. As a matter of fact, I'll give him a call here in the next day or two.
Good.
See what he wants to do and see if he can come up and see if I can bring Mac and Bob up here as well one of these days, and
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Love to do that and talk all about I'm not riding a horse, but I'll talk all about it.
Oh, come on. I'll give you $20.
Me and a horse, I had a bad experience, and a horse did not want me on. And after a couple times of bucking me off and spending the night in the hospital, I said, "You win, I'm done."
I've done that. That happened to me when I was I think I was 8 or 9, maybe even younger.
Yeah.
And I'm on this horse out at my grandfather's house out east of town. And I don't know what happened. I'm just riding this horse, and it's just a nice little ride. And boom, horse takes off. And I'm holding on, and I'm freaking out. Horse rounds a corner, and I fall off. And, oh, man, it was a mess. So
I ended up getting high-silvered into a barbed wire fence. So,
wow.
Good times.
Definitely.
Well, Jason, as always, appreciate the visit. We'll see you here next time.
Most definitely. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Don't work too hard.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The NMMI basketball teams got off to a much later start than everybody else in New Mexico high school basketball. But the Colts boys, for instance, are trying to make up the stagger by playing 10 games in 16 days in January. That 10th game was on Saturday, and NMMI moves to 4-6 on the season by winning a home game against Loving, 53-28. On Friday, it was Hagerman falling to Jowls 69-37, and Gateway Christian lost at home to Floyd 39-29. Meanwhile, Dexter lost to Portales on Saturday 67-45, and Goddard Rockets also played, but Rockets got a victory, winning at Santa Teresa 55-42 on Saturday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. A farm group is saying the Federal Trade Commission should examine high egg prices for signs of price gouging from top egg companies as Americans continue to pay more than ever. U.S. regulators, farmers, and industry have often argued in recent years about the power of top agriculture firms to set prices and drive up what consumers pay for groceries. Former President Donald Trump warned his fellow Republicans on Friday not to destroy federal retirement and health benefits as they try to exact spending cuts from President Biden and his Democratic allies in the looming debate over the debt ceiling. The U.S. Federal Reserve is probing whether Goldman Sachs Group Consumer Business had appropriate safeguards in place as the bank ramped up lending. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. The central bank is concerned the Wall Street giant did not have proper monitoring and control systems inside its consumer unit as it grew larger. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Here to help you breathe easy. That's what you can expect from Artesia General Hospital's cardiopulmonary and respiratory therapy team, both literally and figuratively. From innovative treatments for lung cancer and COVID-19 to management for everyday breathing problems like asthma and bronchitis, our care for acute and chronic conditions is unmatched in southeast New Mexico, and the compassion of our caregivers offers peace of mind with each visit. Get the help you need for chronic respiratory conditions. Call 575-748-3333 or visit artesiageneral.com/respiratory.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Did you know that Central Valley Electric Cooperative has a program in place to help members save on a variety of goods and services, from hotel discounts to pharmacy discounts? Ring in the new year with national and local discounts using your CVE Co-op Connections card. Print your free Co-op Connections card at www.connections.coop or download the Co-op Connections app. You can learn more about the program and discounts at www.connections.coop. If you are a business and would like to become a part of the CVE Co-op Connections card program, call Ray Lynn or Kyler at 575-746-3571.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership, taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, "Judge yourself so you won't be judged." It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
Time to reload for 2023 with LGS Guns and Ammo. Southeastern New Mexico's authority for guns and ammunition is stocked up for the new year, and that means the best selection in the state just got even better. Save big on brands you know and love like Glock, Springfield, Ruger, Mossberg, Smith & Wesson, and more. Plus huge store-wide savings on ammo, magazines, optics and knives, and pistol conversion kits 20% off. Reload for the new year with LGS Guns and Ammo. Southeastern New Mexico's authority for guns and ammo across from Target in Roswell and at lgsguns.com.
For over 40 years, Sierra Blanca Motors here in Roswell have been providing locals with quality vehicles and are committed to providing you quality vehicles and service for many years to come. No sales gimmicks, no inflated pricing, just a quality pre-owned vehicle listed at retail pricing or less. Have a used vehicle to sell? Get top trade-in value or an amazing cash offer today. Let Danny or Jose provide you a great car buying experience. Call 575-622-7907 or stop by Sierra Blanca Motors at 720 South Main Street in Roswell. Se habla español.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at lagronefuneralchapels.com.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. That's 800-503-3735.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
And good morning. It is 7:57. Got a couple minutes here before the top of the hour news. Hey, real quick, do we want to put this on your radar? Folks in Vitalant got some blood drives coming up here around southeast New Mexico. For folks here in Roswell, your next opportunity to donate blood will be tomorrow from 11 to 3:30 at the Vitalant office. They are giving everyone that donates blood during the month of January, during these blood drives, a $10 Amazon gift card. So if you needed an extra little incentive to go do it, well, there you go. If you want to donate blood, call and schedule an appointment. Reach out to Vitalant at 575-840-8178. Again, that's 575-840-8178. And see if there's still some openings for tomorrow's blood drive, again, from 11 to 2:30 at the Vitalant office. They will also be, 11 to 3:30. I gave you an extra hour. 2:30 was over the weekend. On Friday, if you can't make that one, they're going to be at Eastern New Mexico Medical Center in the Mesquite Room from 9 a.m. to 1 this Friday as well. So if you can't make tomorrow, or if we get some weather tomorrow and that provides a problem for you, then Friday, we can go and donate Friday. For folks outside of Roswell, their next blood drive outside of the Roswell area will be in Carlsbad on January 27th. They're going to be at the Bloodmobile at Carlsbad Walmart from noon to 4:30. So anybody can donate blood there. Again, phone number to call, 575-840-8178, 575-840-8178. Let's see. Anything else? Let's mention this today. Hey, Panda Express is helping out the Boys and Girls Club of Chavez and Lincoln County today. If you go and bring this flyer, which you can get from the Boys and Girls Club of Roswell Facebook page, and bring it to Panda Express today between 10 a.m. and 9:30 p.m., 20% of all sales donated will go to the Roswell Boys and Girls Club. You can order online or on the app at pandaexpress.com. Enter 347273 in the fundraiser code box, or bring this flyer and ask for one. They have them. And show them, and you'll be able to order and then help out the Boys and Girls Club. So if you're feeling a little Asian cuisine for lunch or dinner today, swing on by Panda Express and bring this flyer. Or if you order online, enter code 347273, and they'll get 20% of your lunch sale portion will go to Boys and Girls Club here in Roswell. So good way to help. That's today only between 10 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Monday, the 23rd, at Panda Express here locally. All right, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Do not go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Police in Southern California still can't say why a man opened fire Saturday night at a Los Angeles area ballroom dance club. The attack in a predominantly Asian American community left 10 people dead and came amid celebrations of the Lunar New Year.
The Monterey Park slayings have sent a wave of fear through the Asian American community and have cast a shadow over festivities nationwide. The gunman was found Sunday dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in a van. Authorities say he fled in a vehicle after people thwarted his attempt at a second shooting Saturday night. Los Angeles County Sheriff identified him as 72-year-old Hu Can Tran. 10 other people were wounded. It is the deadliest attack since 21 people were killed last May at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. Larry Marino, Los Angeles.
A protest turned violent in downtown Atlanta over the weekend. It all began with a demonstration by environmentalists at the site of a planned public safety training center. A half dozen people were arrested. A closely watched forecast is calling for a blizzard of paint slip.
The survey by the National Association for Business Economics says that not only are more businesses expecting job reductions at their firms, but they're also expected to spend less on expansions for the first time since the pandemic. It's a sign that the Federal Reserve's push to raise interest rates is having the desired effect of slowing the economy.
And that's correspondent Donna Warder reporting. Spotify, the latest tech firm to announce job cuts, the music streaming service cutting roughly 6% of its global workforce, and that figures to about 600 jobs on the chopping block. On Wall Street this hour, the Dow 86 points higher, the Nasdaq is up 121 points, the S&P ahead 24. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Attention! This is a special alert for all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an overpriced auto warranty or no warranty coverage at all. Due to the increase of new and used car prices, repair costs, and the price of gas, people are keeping their cars longer than ever, which is why CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on covered auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can save thousands for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. You could save thousands on future auto repairs. Our specialists are standing by for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-279-7495. Vehicle Protection Plan pricing is at an all-time low. Plus, drivers who purchase this coverage today will receive rental car options, free roadside assistance, and free towing. Call 800-279-7495 now for your free quick quote. That's 800-279-7495. What do you have to lose? Call 800-279-7495. Again, 800-279-7495.
Russia's foreign minister visiting South Africa for the first time since his country invaded Ukraine early last year, aggression that the BBC's Phumza Falani says Pretoria has refused to condemn.
Russian Minister Sergei Lavrov's Southern Africa tour is perfectly timed. The Kremlin has been alienated from a number of powerful countries in the West since its invasion of Ukraine nearly a year ago, with some looking to cut back on business with Russia as a sign of protest. But here in South Africa, things are not that clear-cut. The two countries have historic ties dating back to South Africa's fight to end apartheid, and in recent years, close business ties through the BRICS bloc of emerging economies, which both countries are a member of.
One of Haiti's nearly 200 gangs has ambushed a police unit in the capital Port-au-Prince. 3 officers dead, 1 wounded, another missing. News and analysis at townhall.com. In sports, the Bengals back in the AFC Championship game after hammering the Bills.
For the second straight year, the Cincinnati Bengals will be traveling to Kansas City to face the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. The Bengals come to Buffalo and win decisively, 27-10. Joe Burrow tossed a pair of touchdowns as the Bengals raced out to a 14-0 first quarter lead and would not look back.
We had a great game plan. Guys were making plays. Protection was holding up. We were running the ball well. Just a complete game. Like I said, it's not much to say about that one.
Quarterback Josh Allen of Buffalo threw for 265 yards and an interception in the loss. It's the second straight year that the Bills bow out in the divisional round. Gene Battaglia, Orchard Park, New York.
Yeah, and the 49ers beat the Cowboys 19-12 in the NFC. The 49ers will be traveling to face the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC title game. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Los Bus.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. A cooler, perhaps snow-laden by the end of day Monday.
I did not put my coat on all weekend. Like I was out doing side work and stuff on Saturday, and I spent most of my Sunday in deep cleaning my house, trying to kind of get things back in order.
Yeah.
But all that time when I went outside, I never put my coat on. It was just nice this weekend.
Yeah.
Downright nice.
I had my coat on when I was running errands Saturday, Sunday.
I will say I wished I had my coat Saturday midday.
Yeah.
I ended up going picking up the kids and taking them to a park, and they had their coats on. And it was sunny, but it was just the wind was real cold.
Yeah. Well,
so
Saturday evening was kind of evening was kind of chilly too. So I was here at the office. We did that interview, and then my wife and I walked over to La Grand Victoria and had a early dinner.
Nice.
And but we were walking. And
what time were you here on Saturday?
Oh, about 3-ish.
Yeah, we must have just missed each other because I came in to change out the tech promo.
Oh, well, everybody showed up during the time. Gene popped in for a minute, and then Tanner and the crew getting ready to do basketball popped in. So, yeah, everybody else showed up when I was here.
It was a popular place on Saturday.
Yeah. And then Kim and I walked over and had dinner over at La Grand Victoria.
Nice.
Delicious. I went carne asada taco.
Oh, yeah?
My wife went combo plate. So it was good. Tasty.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, when we were doing the walking down the alley, I had my coat, my wife did, and she goes, "Man, I wish I could get it." I was like, "Well, you want mine?" And of course, we were by the car by then. And
right. Well, the move isn't you want mine. The move is to take the coat off and just put it over her.
Well, I could have, but we were walking and moving, right. And that's a lot of coordination. So I just asked.
Fair enough.
And to be honest, like the car was 50 feet at that point. So, I mean, by the time I stopped, do this, we'd been at the car. So, we were there. But she didn't say nothing until we were almost to the car. You know, I just was walking, minding my own business, and then, "It's cold. I wish I brought my coat." I was like, you want mine? But anyway.
Cocky, yeah, glad I got mine.
I didn't say glad. I just said, would you like mine?
I watched a TikTok the other day. He said, when you enter into a long-term relationship, you need to know two things. Your coat and your lunch are never all yours. It doesn't matter if she said she's not hungry, she having some of those fries.
Yeah. Well, we're usually pretty good about that one. We're not.
You guys don't pick off each other's plates?
Not so much. I mean, have we ever? Sure. But do we do it on the regular? No, not really. We're we like our own food.
That was one of the cool things about Jazz is you would order different things and we would just like try.
Sometimes we do that depending on the place we're at. It makes
like the ultimate sampler. Yeah. Because you get like one thing with like one side and she'd get something else with a different side and it would just.
Anytime we're at someplace new or something, yeah, that's usually a move we won't, we'll try. Hey, you want to try this? Hey, try this,
Right.
But if it's a place we've been to 100 times, we get our own thing and just, it's like, you'd like to, should have got it. You've been here before. You know what they have.
You know what's up.
We have our moves, like Cerritos. We have a breakfast move. We both each build our own burritos, and then we split hash browns. That's kind of
nice.
That's kind of our go-to on our breakfast at Cerritos. Once in a while, we'll throw a wrench in that works if we're like, I feel like something different today. But
so if you guys go now you're talking the breakfast burritos, the smothered, not the handhelds, right?
Mm-hmm.
They split those in half, right? Oh,
no,
it's just all one. Okay.
No.
I was gonna say, because if you want the baller move is for you to each get a different protein for your breakfast burrito, and then half and half the burrito.
Yeah. Well, she likes different things than me sometimes, so we have a different. Like she likes to go sausage, and I'm a bacon. So
sure.
But the mood changes as the day changes sometimes. So, but we do it to a point. But we're not like my in-laws, and maybe when we get older. Like my in-laws, her parents, they almost share almost all the time. They eat a lot.
There is a level where
him and I are we're eaters compared to her.
There's a level where it's like a little bit like, all right, it's not PDA, but it's close. You guys are being a little too sweet to each other.
Yeah,
let's tone it down. All right.
No, we're more of
really rubs it into the lonely people, No,
we're more. At this point, glove in hand routine. We just kind of it's comfortable, and we kind of we know our thing. We know our we can do a lot of that without saying do it. We just do it, kind of thing. But that's what happens when you're married 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're not. We're kind of like we like our own things, and we kind of that's once in a while though. If it's some weird dish or something different, hey, try this. Like if I go get octopus or something like that, then all right, and here's
right. I always wished I had a more adventurous partner when I was married. Like she never was much to try.
I'm by far the more adventurous of the two when it comes to food.
I just like sushi. It would have been cool if like we could have like both had sushi one night. But if anytime I wanted that or like Thai food or I'd be on my own.
No, Kim will try some of that. Now she won't go adventurous. Like a lot of times if we did sushi, she might get one or two, but she'd stick to like cooked chicken or something that that wasn't as scary to someone who doesn't eat that all the time.
Sure.
But so we did go, like sushi and like when Galactic was open. Thank goodness she loved the not pistachio, the green tea fried ice cream that they'd had.
Oh, the matcha.
Yeah,
the matcha fried. Yeah, that was.
So she would be willing to let me eat sushi while she eats some chicken.
Nice.
Just to get. So we'd split. We'd always split one of those at the end.
Nice.
And that was kind of our move. So
I like it.
Matter of fact, that's where he met Bo Duke.
Oh, really?
He was in town.
He didn't strike me as a sushi guy, but I guess...
Who, me?
No,
him?
Bo Duke.
Well, I'm sure it was a gig for him. He wasn't there to eat. He was there to sign autographs. It was when he was in town for a film festival, for one of the Roswell film festivals, and he was the... I don't think Graham Marshall's the right term, but kind of the token celebrity, come see...
The big deal.
Yeah. And so he was in town for the weekend. Of course, for folks that don't know, Bo Duke, John Schneider, he's got like his own movie studio now. He makes his own independent movies.
Oh, really?
That's kind of his... He does singing and stuff to it, but he kind of has his own farmland, ranch land out in, I don't know, it's Georgia or Tennessee or one of those places. And I think he films a lot of movies that go right to DVD and stuff. I don't think I follow him on Facebook and I see all these movies and things that he's working on or his company, but I've yet to see one anywhere in any place that is like on the mainstream.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know if these go right to Lifetime or I have no idea where they go, but anyway, he does a lot of those now.
That's one thing you got to say about creators and creation today is you really do have a lot of avenues. I mean, that's one thing, that's helpful for filmmakers is you don't have to be mainstream to be, making a living.
Sure.
You could be completely indie and making it work.
Yeah, independent. It sounded like you said Indian. I was like,
indie and make it work. Yeah, independent. You could be Indian and make it and be successful.
Yes, you can.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Dots and feathers.
I was like, okay. All right. It's a weird place to put that, but all right.
You can be indie, ...
Yes.
And successful.
There you go. Absolutely. Yeah. But, so anyway, my wife, now I'm a fan of Dukes of Hazzard, but I think my wife's a fan of John Schneider because she was all about going to Galactic Sushi. She brought the General, Lee, there to get signed and matter of fact, that was the day that John Schneider said, I'm trying this new phone technology. And so she was the guinea pig where he like signed his autograph and took a picture and signed his autograph on the picture through his phone and then sent it to her.
Oh, really?
So she got like this autograph thing that he did like on his phone.
That's like almost like an NFT.
Yeah. Well, this was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Whenever we got that thing.
That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. So that was... she was all excited about it. Matter of fact, I think if you look at her profile pic, it's still that picture, him and Bo Duke with the at Galactic Sushi. So it was.
There's some people when it comes to your profile photo. There's some people who change it like every day or like every week, or they're doing the temporary photo, pictures for theirs. Once I find what I like, I don't mess with it. Like mine has just been me with Rhiannon.
I change mine on occasion.
Matter of fact, my profile picture currently was at the church the day of my grandpa's funeral.
Wow.
Or no, it was at his house the day of the funeral. Right after
all the family gatherings and what have you.
It was like one of the. It was rare that I actually took a picture. I was like, that's a good angle of me. I'm gonna go with that.
I would.
Dressed semi-formal.
Of course, right now mine's a little dated because I've got a picture of me Santa Claus.
Oh yeah.
From Christmas, and now that we're full into January, that's a little. But I just haven't changed it because I don't feel like it or haven't thought anything about it till right this moment.
Right.
To be quite honest. But I changed it back when I played Santa back for the Historical Society back in December, and I've never done that before. It was kind of neat. So, and I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think I was going to be a good Santa but after I saw it all, and I was like, I kind of pulled off the Santa. Yeah, I'm a little smaller. I'm a little less fat. I'm about a foot shorter, but yeah.
You're like efficient Santa.
I am. I'm like mini Santa. I'm a Santa Light.
A Santa that you want to just pick up and put in your pocket.
The pint-sized Santa.
Pint-sized Saint Nick.
The problem is I'm not jolly enough. I'm only jolly in small doses, and then my jolliness goes away.
Yeah, I can be jolly, but I have to be coerced into jolliness.
Yeah, you're better at it than I am.
No, I have kids. I have to be.
Yeah, you've got to be on more than I do. Me, when I get home, I don't have to be on anymore. I just sit there. My wife's like, "What's wrong?" Nothing. I'm just tired of talking.
I'm just existing for a minute.
Yeah, she doesn't get that sometimes. It's like I get home and the last thing I want to do is entertain, talk. And I feel bad because my wife just wants to have a conversation. I'm like, I get a little bit, but I just want to sit here and vegetate. I don't want to. I don't want to think. I don't want to. I just want to wash my brain of the day and just chill.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me give you the rundown.
Oh, yes.
Although I haven't heard from Elliot yet, but Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot scheduled to join us here in just right about now. We'll give him a few minutes. I know we played because I was supposed to have him on last week, and then I got sick. Which, by the way, I'm still feeling funky today. Like,
are you?
Again, like, I don't know if it's just a weekend thing or something, but like last night I was up not feeling good, and I'm just been kind of, today I'm just
Any
like,
difference in your diet at all, or?
No, not really. Although, over the weekend, I tried one of these Home Chef deals.
Oh, yeah.
Just on a whim, I got, I got, so I was like, let's give it a, so I went and they had a deal where I got like the first three meals for like $30 or something pretty cheap, and I'm still in deal. So I went ahead and ordered a box, and we got the box last week.
Okay.
And I think it's Home Chef. There's 100 of them.
There's a ton.
I think the one I ordered through was Home Chef.
Okay.
And I got 3 meals, and so Friday and the weekend I cooked the meals.
Oh, okay.
And so that's a little, but that's not what it cost.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, it was all fresh.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is maybe I waited a day too longer on one of the proteins, maybe, but I don't know. But
any standouts from the box?
I would say I had 3 meals.
Okay.
2 of the 3 I would have again.
Okay.
The first one I ate was a pasta dish that had shrimp and what are those noodles? The round ones. What are the long round rigatoni? Penne, maybe penne. It had those in it.
Okay.
And then it had like a cream and a marinara sauce mixed with
really cream and marinara. That's
it was like a cream and a marinara mixed together.
Okay.
And then it had some vegetables and things. So it was like a Alfredo sorta. It was a pasta. It was really good. That one was a 10. I enjoyed that one, and there was enough for both of us. Like I was thinking, but that one. The other meal was good. There was a steak one where you cooked the steak with the potatoes, and then you put like this cheese and this horseradish mayonnaise aioli thing on top of the steak. And then you serve it with these potatoes, the sour cream, and all that. That was good. Although I ain't gonna lie, that one's a little bit small in portion.
See, and that's what I'm worried about more often than not. Is I feel like they're like, well, it's only such and such per meal, but is it going to be enough food? I mean, I always feel like that's.
I think I'm learning pasta dishes are a little bigger than the other dishes.
Right.
That's what I'm noticing here, because they're cheaper,
and also probably richer too.
Yeah,
easier to fill you up faster.
Sure, exactly. So those 2 were winners. The one that I wanted to be good, but and then part of it was my fault, was a chicken schnitzel. And you did the chicken schnitzel with a pretzel crusted, whatever you go, crust, whatever it is.
And that's the one you did see, because you're a pretzel guy.
I am. But I screwed it up. I don't think I did it thoroughly right. See, they give you a bag of roll gold pretzels, little sandwich snack, and you're supposed to beat it up, and that's what you dip the chicken in. Well, they just said break it up into small pieces, which is what I did. I guess I didn't bring it up. I think they wanted me to crumb it.
Yeah.
And what happened was there was hunks of that pretzel, and it burned as soon as you put it on the thing. And so it tasted all right, but the the coating was not right.
It was, yeah.
And but the sides were good and everything else. So part of that is me.
Was the preparation.
Yeah.
Now it always seems like it's not worth it, but then you get the recipe card and you could just go to the store and get the ingredients to make that dish again if it was something you liked.
It is, absolutely.
But Walmart's actually getting into that now too.
Are they?
Like they're putting together meal kits.
And I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this, but I wanted to try it. How's that? Okay, cool. But and I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it, but I wanted to say, hey, is this an option? Maybe a couple meals a week we do this, and that way we avoid the argument of what we're doing for dinner, or I don't feel like doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I give it a try, and I don't know. I got 3 more meals coming, so but 2 of the 3 I would eat again. One, but they do have a great selection. Like I'm looking, and like you can get anything from burgers and sandwiches to tacos to like fish and more fancy food.
So. Oh yeah, a lot of variety there.
Yeah, it's not bad. Elliot's here from Lone Depot, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and pause for a weather update real quick. Hold on, wait.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like we've got a pretty big storm system on the way, and that'll be affecting us tonight and into Tuesday. Clouds coming in today. Our afternoon high in the low to mid 50s. We'll have rain this evening, changing over to snow after midnight. Little bit of accumulation. Our low in the upper 20s, and then snow on Tuesday morning. Clearing up a little bit in the afternoon, breezy, and our high near 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 34 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%, and winds are out of the north at 6 miles per hour. We do have a winter weather advisory, and that is, sorry, I'm fighting hiccups, is happening tonight beginning at 6 p.m., and that will remain in effect through noon tomorrow. For today, expect cloudy skies, 50 for a high, winds out of the north. East 10 to 20. And then tonight is when all the stuff's coming in. Starting out with rain till about midnight. Seeing rain. And then around midnight, it'll be changing over to a mix of rain and snow. And then sometime after 2, 3 in the morning, it's going to change over to all snow. Expect an overnight low of 29 with east winds 15 to 20. They're saying chance of precipits at 90%, and we could see 1 to 3 inches of snow when you wake up in the morning here tomorrow. For you Tuesday, we're looking at a 50% chance of snow before noon. Cloudy, then gradually clearing and becoming mostly sunny. High of 45 tomorrow with north winds 10 to 15. They expect less than a half an inch tomorrow morning. So it looks like we're going to get a couple inches of snow tonight, overnight. You're going to wake up, it's going to be snowing, everything might get a delay for school and stuff. And then about noon to 1 o'clock, the sun will come out, and then most of that snow will start going away. And then it's atypical Roswell snow is what I'm thinking we got coming here when we get them. I think that's what we're dealing with. But we'll see. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 24, north winds 5 to 10. Looking at the rest of the week, sunny and 45 on Wednesday. Thursday, mostly sunny and 42. Sunny and 48 on Friday, and then we'll be in the 50s for the weekend. Sunny 55 Saturday, sunny 54 on Sunday. But tonight, do your homework, kids. I think you're still going to go to school. Maybe just go in a little late. That's my guess. All right, it is 8:25. We're going to take a 3-minute break, 3.5-minute break, and then Elliot Rodriguez with Lone Depot is going to join us on the other side. Don't go away.
Wilbanks Trucking Services in Artesia is seeking dedicated and motivated individuals to join their team. Immediate openings include CDL drivers with pay starting at $25 to $33 per hour depending on experience. Riggers with pay starting at $20 per hour and open positions for lease operators. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers full benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and housing for out-of-town employees. For more information on career opportunities, please call 575-7 746-6318 or online at willbanks.us. Willbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Time to reload for 2023 with LGS Guns and Ammo. Southeastern New Mexico's authority for guns and ammunition is stocked up for the new year, and that means the best selection in the state just got even better. Save big on brands you know and love like Glock, Springfield, Ruger, Mossberg, Smith & Wesson, and more. Plus, huge store-wide savings on ammo, magazines, optics and knives, and pistol conversion kits 20% off. Reload for the new year with LGS Guns and Ammo. Southeastern New Mexico's authority for guns and ammo across from Target in Roswell and at lgsguns.com.
With the hustle, bustle, and bright lights of the holidays in the rearview mirror, it's time to ease into the new year with a new car or truck from your friends at Roswell Ford. Because nobody makes car buying easier. With more than 500 pre-owned vehicles in stock and brand new units arriving all the time, finding the perfect vehicle is easy. A 3-day money-back guarantee on all pre-owned vehicles makes the decision easy. No payments for 90 days easily gives you time to put those holiday expenses behind you. And with a goal of 100% credit approval, Roswell Ford even makes financing easy, regardless of your credit situation. And we happily accept I-10s. Like I said, easy. So make some time and come see what we have for you at the Tailgate Nation. Whatever you're looking for, you can count on Roswell Ford to keep it simple and make it easy. We're waiting for you now at the corner of 9th and Main, so we're even easy to find.
The New Mexico Modern Child Support Family Program. It works to benefit both parents for the purpose of improving children's lives. It provides the basics of child support but goes further by helping parents step up to find better job opportunities that get them back on track to paying their monthly child support obligation. Find out how the Child Support Step Up program can help your modern family. Contact New Mexico Child Support today at 1-800-283-4465 or visit hsd.state.nm.us. Brought to you by the New Mexico Human Services Department.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:29, and joining us in studio this morning from Lone Depot, Elliot Rodriguez back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Roswell, and Happy New Year.
Happy 2023 to everybody. How's life in your household?
He came and we didn't even notice.
That's right.
It's like he came to the night and just cut you there.
There you go. New year and new problems, I guess you could say.
You're lying about that one. No, it's great. Everything's moving forward. New Year's here. Open for business at the office, by the way.
Okay. You're officially in the office?
I'm officially in the office.
Moved in and
all.
Seeing clients out of the office?
Seeing clients out of the office and everything.
Deal. Excellent. And give people the new address here for the new office.
That is 204 West, oh my goodness, wrong address. 204 West 2nd Street, suite number 5.
Very good. So just around the corner from us here.
It's best to always call me still.
Sure.
Because I'm
You're out and about and visiting families and, hitting whatever.
But if I don't have an appointment, I should be at the office.
Good deal. So call the office, leave a voicemail or call direct, and we can sit down with you. But of course, Elliot joins us once a month to talk housing. He's not the guy he's not the real estate agent. He's not the one that helps you pick the home. He's the one that helps you afford it. He's the one who tells you how much.
Give you the money.
Yeah. He's actually the one that says you can afford this much house, and that's what you should go to instead of, he's the person you really should talk to before the real estate agent.
And that is a fact, guys.
This is the person you talk to find out exactly how much you're approved for. And realistically, and this is where maybe Elliot's a little different than other loan officers, where, you know, he's going to work with people and talk with people and give them the straight skinny and not say, okay, yes, on paper, I can clear you for $300,000 house. But if you spend $300,000 in a house, you're not going to be able to afford to put anything in it. Let's look at a house that's maybe $200,000, and then let's talk about affording to actually live in the house with nice stuff and things like that. That's where Elliot comes in and says, all right, let's be realistic here and say, okay, your ceiling, yeah, we can get you in a $350,000 house, but how do you want to live that life in that house? And let's talk about that.
That's
and
right.
talk about what you can.
Yeah, because
what you can truly afford versus what they'll clear you to afford.
Yeah, be careful, guys. It's not always the best to max it out all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a little breathing room, if you may. You know. So.
Now, for some people, that's the way to go. That's how they work.
And a lot do.
But not a lot of us are like that. We kind of want a little slow and steady and raise our family. Others are trying to kind of flip houses and get, trying to.
Yeah,
be more aggressive with it.
And I know it's tough, guys, because I know there's not a lot of houses out there the way we like it to be.
Sure.
Okay, so this is your chance right now to negotiate. Yeah, I don't think we are in a market that you need to start saying, less $20,000 in the price.
Mm-hmm.
We're not there. Okay, and I don't know if we're gonna be. All right. But with you in a place that you can negotiate on closing costs and so on, all right?
Sure.
Your agent will go and negotiate this for you, and it'll make it easier for you to obtain the house that you want to do. So
and this probably is leaning a little bit more towards the real estate agent side of the transaction. But I do have a question on like is now a time, because it's always about supply and demand. We talk about that every time. But are we in a time now where people are more willing to get the deal done, maybe make renovations or things? Because a lot of times we talk about buying a house and it's like, okay, I'll pay that price, but you got to replace the carpet first or fix the roof or whatever. I mean, are we seeing a lot more of that kind of wheeling and dealing going on now because of the market, or is it less the case because people are like, I found a house, I just want it, I don't care if I got to put in $10,000 to fix it up or whatever?
Well, the inventory slowed down just a little.
Gotcha.
Okay. What I'm seeing popping up is more like that, 100 to 150 or so, homes. Obviously, those homes need a little fixing.
Sure.
Okay. We're not like other counties that the houses are so expensive and they're not as great. Okay. I don't think we're there yet. Okay. But it can go there.
Sure.
Especially when the rates get better, the price of the home is going to go up again. All right. So that's the trick of the trade that people need to realize. Not waiting to having the 20% down, which is a myth. Okay. You don't have to have 20% down to be able to buy a home.
No.
Okay. You could buy a home as little as having 3.5% down or 3% down, depending on the circumstances. So,
and then depending on your situation,
exactly,
if you're a veteran or teacher or one of these, you could put nothing down.
Nothing down,
Yeah.
So it really depends on what program you're going to go for. And there are also assistance programs, from the state of New Mexico that help you buy a house if you need a little assistance, because you don't have enough money in the bank to the down payment. Now, going back to what we were saying, the market doesn't have enough homes. So what does that mean? We got a lot of homes, but they're a little more expensive.
Gotcha.
Okay. Then we have the middle range homes, and then we have the ones that are way too low that maybe need a lot of fixing. Well, folks, what you guys need to keep in mind is that there's remodeling, or should I say renovation purchasing loans. That means if you find a home that maybe doesn't have the right color, maybe it needs a air conditioning heating unit because it's so old, or just don't even have one.
Right.
Okay. But it's in the right area. It's a house that you could live on.
Checks a lot of boxes, but it's missing some stuff. Yeah.
And you can actually purchase that by adding those things. Now, a lot of people always think the seller's supposed to do everything. We need to take this thing out of our heads, because the fact of the matter is, when somebody put a home in the market, hopefully I would say 99% of the of the folks out there, they did their homework so they know what price they can sell their homes. All right. The problem is when somebody put it in the market and try to sell it by themselves and they overprice it or so on, that may not work and makes it difficult. But when somebody's selling a home, most of the cases, that's the price of the house.
Sure.
Okay. We're not in a market that we should be trying to get the homes for cheaper, because now if you don't have enough money to begin with, the seller is not going to help you pay for any closing costs for you.
No.
If you drop the price, they may sell you the house, but now they're not going to give you anything extra.
Sure.
So we need to think outside the box.
Absolutely.
And make it work where it's easier for everybody. Okay. And I always tell folks, you know what, don't try to, minus, $10, $15, $20,000 to the price of the home, because if it's listed for that price, it probably is worth
They
that
could probably
price.
get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that means
there's always an exception every rule.
Yes,
but
it happens. Sometimes can come, lower,
Some people
but it doesn't happen all
overinflate
the
it
time.
because of a sentimental version,
Exactly.
or they think it's worth more than it really is because they paid an X amount on it, and it's like, you just got the raw end of the deal. The value's not there. It just isn't. But sometimes people don't get that, and they got to learn the hard way.
Correct.
And so that house will sit on the market overpriced for a long time until they finally say, all right, maybe I should listen to my agent and lower the price a little bit.
But it usually is worth that.
Yeah.
So that we're not in that market yet. Yes, the market slowed down somewhat, okay, but the homes are still coming out. I have always said it. The time to buy a home is now.
Yeah.
If you can buy a house, you need a house.
Exactly.
Buy a house. Don't worry about what's happening in the market. You and I were talking just a little while ago.
Sure.
Okay?
And the media and everything, they're going to make it doom and gloom for everything. And it's like, it's only doom and gloom if you don't do your homework. You know what I mean?
From everything that I've been going on, I usually don't talk rates, but I'm not talking rates in particular cases, or should I say, programs. Okay?
Sure.
I have not done a deal, I don't think, over 6.5. Okay. So, and the average in the United States is 7.5. Okay. So the fact of the matter is, it depends what you do in your situation that you're going to get a good deal either way.
Sure.
Okay. So back in 2004, I had a mortgage for 9.5. Okay.
And you probably thought you had a great deal.
And I thought I had a good deal because I was able to buy a house.
Yeah.
So, obviously there were circumstances why I got a 9.5.
Sure.
But the matter is, I still got the house.
But it also got you in the game and set the table.
Exactly. And guess what? It took me twice to refinance it to get it down to 5.9. Okay. And folks, we are around those numbers still right now today.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, the 5.8 or something like that, or 6.5 or 6.25, which is usually the numbers that I've been getting lately.
Sure.
Okay. And we can buy points. There's so many programs that people don't realize. You asked me these questions, I was explaining it.
Sure.
I'm not going to go in detail here because it's complicated.
And,
but
it was kind of a bit of an anomaly, prior to COVID.
Exactly.
The rates were low, like we're talking 3%, and that's unheard of numbers.
I know that went on for a few there.
So
for a
people
spell.
are locked into that and thinking that's the new norm.
And that's not true.
And then when COVID hit and it went back to 6, back to more, I guess you could say what people were expecting to pay.
When you and I started on Stearns doing interviews, when I was at Stearns, the rates were 4.5 to 5.
Yeah.
5.5. So guys, folks, we're not that far from there still.
Sure.
Okay. Now, what we're talking about is don't be afraid of buying a house. If you can afford a home, I'm going to get you approved to that you can afford a home. Not that you're going to buy a house and you can't even eat, rice and beans or something like that. Okay? No, fact of the matter is I'm not going to push you in a bad place.
Sure.
If you are qualified for a home.
Something that works in your budget.
Yes, exactly. If you qualify for the home, I'm going to advise you this is where you get, and don't get me wrong, dude. Every single time that I tell somebody this is your limit, they're still going to find something more expensive.
Absolutely.
Because it's tough out there. There's not enough homes,
people want what they want, and they're like, okay, in my head I can figure out a way to rationalize
I hear
this.
you.
Sometimes you can, but a lot of times you're going to have to sacrifice big time to get what you want. And if you're not willing to do that, that's where the problem comes in. And you may be willing to at first, but after 2 months of eating beans and rice and getting a little tired of it, or sleeping on a cot or one of those folding lawn chairs you get at the grocery store, not even when you get from like the hardware store, from the grocery store, like hanging above the steaks. You know what I'm talking about? Those styrofoam coolers. Yeah, those. That's your furniture. If you don't tired of living like that, then that's going to be a problem for you.
And everybody needs a home. Let's be honest. Some people are renting. Some people living with some other family or even friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody needs a home. Okay. So if you need a home for you and your family, and you are want to live with family, or you are being kicked out already,
right?
It's time for you to go, dude.
That's right.
If you're going to be paying rent, might as well pay for a home.
Absolutely.
And it'll be yours. And then whenever in the future you decide to move or upgrade, your money make you some money.
If you're in a spot you're going to be at for a while, a couple years or however,
buy a home.
Why rent? Renting has its place. Maybe first starting out, you're trying to get credit established and all that. Then you're establishing that. Or if it's a temp job, you know you're only going to be there 6 months, then why would you buy a home if you know you're going to be there 6 months? But if you know that's your place you're going to spend at least next 5, 6, 10 years of your life,
even 2 or 3, even 2 or 3. Let's be realistic. Let's say you came here on some kind of job. Okay, why rent? Why not buy a house?
Yeah.
In 2 or 3 years, when you leave. I mean, let's put it even like this. This is why they pay the real estate agents. You can live to whatever else you're going to go afterwards.
Sure.
And if you haven't sold your house by the time you left, that doesn't stop you.
Yeah.
Okay? You have a real estate agent that can sell it for you. And like I always tell my wife, everything sells.
Yeah.
Okay? I've been blessed. Most of my homes that I ever sold, they even sold in 1 week or 30 days. That's it. I mean, they never went months and months.
Well, you also learn to set the table
well,
to
that's
make
true.
it...
I make them nice. I make it clean,
Yeah.
And
make it a desirable home to begin with.
And folks out there that are trying to sell homes, clean your homes.
Oh, it's
painted a little.
It's so much curb appeal, and that thing
I was going to say that.
Huge asset in your friend.
You guys go onto any videos and all those remodeling shows. What is the main thing they say? Curb appeal.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you something. It doesn't have to be the Taj Mahal, but you can make it look nice. And you'll sell it faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
People want to live in a place that looks nice, and if it looks like a place that doesn't look all run down and and maintained, it looks no. You don't have to have bushes shaped like swans and everything's like looks like Richie Rich's house, but. Cut the grass, get rid of the weeds.
Clean it up a little.
Maybe do some xeriscape if it works there. Just do you don't have to spend just enough to make it look like someone lives in that house and it looks like a decent, like it doesn't look like a squatter lived there or look like that you never cut the grass
That's
ever.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because the mindset is if it looks like that on the outside, what kind of disaster am I walking to on the inside?
I mean, let's be realistic. Some home looks really nice, and when you go inside, you get a heart attack.
Yeah.
Okay? Folks, the fact of the matter is, if you disclose that something is missing, or like, for example, you heating and cooling machine is not the greatest, it's old.
Yeah.
But you've been patching it up as best as you can. You could list it as is.
Sure.
Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, let your agent do the job.
Sure.
And they'll sell your house.
And they'll
for
sell
you.
it accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the money to fix it, as soon as you disclosing these things, guess what? You're gonna get the right buyer, and then that will not be an issue.
Sure.
Okay.
And to be honest, how you bought the house in the first place probably determines some of that. So if you spent more money than you wanted to, then you're probably going to fix this house up to get your money back or make money on it. But if you spent minimal and you do minimal and you sell it for minimal but more than you did, then it's all about how the condition you bought it in and the deal you got on it. If you didn't get such a great deal, then you're probably going to put more work on it to get your money back. If it was one of those quick sell, quick kind of thing, then you put, hey, I bought it for, $30,000 under value because it's missing an air conditioner. I put an air conditioner in it for $10,000 and turn around and set it for $40,000 for more than I paid for it. That's okay.
Yeah, it's not such a bad. Sometimes I almost sound like a damn real estate agent, to be honest. But the fact of the matter is, I advise as best as I can. All right. So it's okay, all right? If you don't have enough money to fix the home, just disclose it.
Sure.
So when the agents start negotiating, the agents know what to tell the buyer, and that way you can sell your house. Every home will sell, okay? One thing that I have learned throughout my whole entire career, okay, is that every home sells. There's always the right buyer in there. Just don't do the mistake that because of $5,000 or $10,000, you don't sell your house and you have it in the market for 6 months, a year or so. You just wasted all that time, and that's money that costs you, okay, as a seller.
Absolutely.
So it's a mistake. When you have a buyer, negotiate.
Sure.
Meet in the middle, okay? In that way, you are all happy.
Make it beneficial for everybody.
Exactly, and then you're done. I had a deal that is so funny. I think it even took more than a year and a half to 2 years maybe to sell the house. The funny is, the guy keep coming back to me, and agents keep bringing him back to me. I'm like, yeah, it's the same customer. I get it. Well, he's just so set into, I think it took him more than a year to sell the house, and we were talking about $5,000.
That was the sticking point.
Yeah. So when I kept hearing this, and then came back with another agent saying, this guy, I got to buy it for you, and this guy's buying this house, and they told me the person and the name. I was like, oh, it's the same seller. Okay. Why he didn't sell last time? I don't know. And they even had an appraisal. and he just keep pushing. There's nobody. There's not a scheme that the agents and lenders are doing to try to sell your house for less.
Sure.
Okay, we don't control those things.
Right.
All right. Well, the agents would advise you properly and tell you, hey, the comps that we have says this house is worth this much.
The market dictates all of that.
Don't be a Trump that puts gold faucets everywhere. That don't mean that you're going to sell the house for another extra $100,000.
Yeah.
It don't work that way.
Sure.
Okay.
It's like cars. It's no different than cars. You get those people
That's a good point
that they'll buy a Jeep or a sports car and then they'll put $100,000 worth of add-ons. You're not getting that money back when you sell that car.
You may get a few extra, but not much.
Houses are a little different because certain things you will get your money back for. But like you said, if you're putting overpriced faucets and things in there it's like putting $10,000 rims on a $500 car. If you're doing that move, you're not going to get your money back on it. You're just not. But if you're doing upgrades and updates that flow along with the lines of the house and cost,
you'll be good.
It's like, if you're putting in if you got a house that's barely standing up in a shanty in a bad neighborhood, but it's got like way high dollar plumbing or faucet, you're like, well, what that? Like people that can afford that kind of plumbing aren't living in a neighborhood like this.
Exactly.
So you gotta. So you're not going to get your money back. I mean, it should be great if you're going to live in it and want that. That's great. But when you sell it, you're not getting that money back because no one's going to pay that kind of money for the other condition.
Folks, if you guys are in the market and you saw a house that you want to buy,
and
it's been there for a while, it doesn't mean you're going to offer them less either. Okay, you got a little room to negotiate probably.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it is something that needs to be done. Maybe it's up to you to just add that something so you could get the house that you want.
Sure.
Okay, and let's be honest, And I come across all the time. Somebody want to buy a $225,000 or $250,000 house when they only qualify for $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
Get it in you guys' head. If you don't qualify for it, you don't qualify for it.
Sure.
Doesn't mean you go to another lender to see if they can get you more. It don't work that way.
Sure.
Trust me. I can do more than most. And if I'm telling you this is the max, that is the max.
And that's the thing and we talk about this all the time with Elliot. If he sits down and tells you, hey, you're not here. You're not qualifying.
Exactly.
But he will, after that, say, okay, give me X amount of time, and you do this, this, and this, and we can talk again.
Maybe that Homer that you bought shouldn't not have that Homer.
Sure.
Get rid of that Homer, then you could take it to the $250,000. A
lot of it's just managing your bills and things, and sometimes if it's all about debts and numbers, and if you're not taking in or bringing in as much as you're going out, then that's going to be a problem, and they're going to figure that out. But even if if you put everything on credit, that's a bad thing too. You've got to balance it. You want some credit because they want proof that they can rely on you.
Exactly.
But if you're up to your elbows in credit debt because you charged everything, they don't want to touch you either because they're like, that's a matter of time for that thing goes belly up.
That's true. I mean, let's be honest, guys. If you're making $5,000 a year, which is a good good salary, okay, and you literally almost paying $4,000 in bills, can you buy a house? Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most likely not. But if you come to me, I'll give you a plan, and then you can arrange it accordingly, and maybe you could buy a house.
Sure.
But don't be afraid. People out there that are thinking about buying a home or need to buy a house, or it's in the back of your subconscious telling you, hey, it's time to buy a house.
Yeah.
The first thing you have to do is get qualified.
Sure.
Okay. You follow my lead. Give me what I need from you. I'll get you a house. I'll go to the moon fighting 12 rounds and get you that stuff for you.
Well, and that's what
I
do. Is don't worry about what you're seeing on
don't listen to
Fox
what is
Business Channel or MSNBC or whatever and what they're saying. Don't if you look at that and say I can't buy a house because I just watched that, then you're wrong. Come talk to Elliot and he'll get now. Situations and scenarios.
Yeah, everything
and
is different.
But don't be scared. If that's what's stopping you, don't let it stop you. Come because like Elliot said, if you need a house, you need a house. And here's the thing. If you're paying rent, you could easily be paying a mortgage. And here's the big difference. We say every time, and most of you get this, but some still don't. When you're paying a mortgage, you're investing that money back into you. When you're paying for a rent check, you're investing into whoever owns the building that you're living in.
And that is 100% correct.
Because you're building equity on that mortgage payment.
For somebody else.
Everything you're paying, that you're basically putting the value in the house back from it going to the value of the bank to the value of you. So when you start paying that house, and if you've got a 15 or 30-year mortgage, in 30 or 15 years or sooner, depending on you, in theory, you own that house outright. and it is yours. And when you sell it for whatever you can get for it, and none of that's financed. So in essence, you want to get a bigger house, you've got, we'll say, $200,000 sitting here in equity waiting for you to put into that new house.
Exactly.
Or do whatever that next phase in life is. Sell the house and, get in a trailer and travel the world. Whatever it is, that's your money sitting in a bank, in essence, of that home or that house is what that's doing.
And a lot of people go on, I see a lot of stuff online like, let me give you a hack. How do you buy a house? Not a hack, it's just common sense. Okay? There's no tricks on how to do things. It's just knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, so folks, if you are trying to save 20% to buy a house, you are approaching this the wrong way. What about buying a house as minimum as you can, especially if you can afford it?
Sure.
And then while you have your house, save that 20% that you wanted.
Exactly.
And use it for anything else or put into the house later. Guess what? While you were saving, now your house is valued more money, and you have that 20% that you were waiting for.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, like I said when we started in the conversation today, you could buy a home as minimum as 3% and 3.5%.
Yeah.
The programs are there. If you're a vet, you could buy a home and you don't have to put any money down percent for the down payment. Okay. And if you negotiate right, you could buy a house and no money out of your pocket if you do the negotiation correctly.
Sure.
Okay. That's what I come in and I'll give you my advice. Then you and your real estate agent go and do your thing.
Sure.
Okay. So the fact of the matter is, there's no excuses about not buying a home besides being afraid or listening to what the media is telling you.
Sure.
Folks, if you take a look about what's been happening for the past decade, how much you really need to listen to your media, let's be honest. Okay?
You're right. Yeah.
There's a lot of things. And I'm not saying...
Be cautious and but don't let it rule your whole life. Do what you got to do.
You don't do exactly what those folks tell you. I mean, those people are making more money than me and Mike put together. Okay?
Everybody's got an agenda.
Care.
You just got to know what their agenda is.
Listen to the folks that are here in front of you, talking to you, that actually dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with. Okay, we're the ones that actually go through these things. We have the experience. We have the expertise.
Sure.
Okay, folks, I don't just go and put a 25-cent machine and get a license out of it. I had to study. I had to learn all these things.
Sure.
And it comes with experience. I have done deals for people that nobody could or believed that they could have bought a house. Okay, and everybody keeps telling them no, and the poor people are like, but I'm paying all this. I'm paying this much rent. How can I buy a house? Well, you know what? You need somebody to guide you. Okay, if you come to me, I will help you get to where you need to get. If we can do it right now, we'll do it right now. If it's going to take 1, 2, or 3 months, hey, it is.
Sure.
The fact of the matter is, if we cannot do it right now, nobody else is going to be able to. So might as well put a plan in place.
Absolutely.
And do it.
Absolutely.
And I help a lot of people throughout the years, and I love doing that because I think it's the coolest thing ever. Okay.
That's where you get the satisfaction.
I get that satisfaction because, folks, I wanted to be a real estate agent for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. And I almost did it too. But I like to doing loans, and I think I have more control doing loans than helping people buy houses.
At the end of the day, if you do this right, you're setting them up for success the rest of their lives.
Exactly. And I love buying houses. I buy a house with everybody. When they buy a house, I'm buying a house with them. So I love seeing all these different homes and everything.
Sure.
And I love driving to town saying, I help somebody go and live there.
That is cool.
And I think it's the coolest thing ever, know, because for the longest time I was like, what is my calling?
Yeah. Well, it's literally giving people their foot in the door in the American dream, and that's what it is.
So don't be afraid of the market, okay? There's ways to buy houses. There's programs, and you could even make the house that you're looking. Maybe it's not the best in the world, but we can make it the best in the world for you.
And if you're trying to work there, might as well work there in a house that you're paying a mortgage on, as opposed to a house you're paying rent on, because you're now building equity and building that life towards that next house. That's what you're doing. Reach out to Elliot. We just saw the time. We better hurry up and get this out. But Elliot's got his new office now, and you can reach out and call. What's the office number? Because I think I have the one from Albuquerque.
Just call my. Just call the cell. That's my number for me too.
Okay. Call 719-237-4680. Again, that's 719-237-4680. The office you can call the 505. 505-445-2070. Again, 505-445-2070. And then, of course, if you want to do like some research on Elliot and kind of learn more about him, go to his website. It is www.loandepot.com/Elliot Rodriguez.
Correct.
All one word, loandepot.com/Elliot Rodriguez, or shoot him an email, Elliot Rodriguez, all one word, at loandepot.com. And Elliot spells his Elliot with one L.
One L?
Not two, so one L.
It's not a Q on Rodriguez, and it's a Z in the end,
yes.
Not an S.
Yes. Sorry, I forget some people go different
trust me,
directions.
they go like that. And you can look me up online. I mean, you can see what me and Mike's been talking for years.
Oh, yeah, we got plenty of videos,
plenty of videos in
conversations and things. And if you are in that, if you're looking and you're thinking, it's time for us to start investing in ourselves, give Elliot a call. Let him get you started, or at least set the table for you to start working in that direction today.
You want a lender that goes the extra mile? I'm your guy.
There you go.
I'll make sure that you get a house one way or another.
What Super Bowl, real quick? Do you have of the four left? You rooting for one or the other?
Not 100%. No. I mean, my guys didn't do that good this year.
Yeah. You know what? I keep seeing Cincinnati getting here, and I wouldn't mind seeing them win it at all. I don't think they will.
That'd be nice.
I don't think they will, but I would entertain that and be happy.
Yeah, we had some football dilemma at home yesterday.
Yeah,
we're going back and forth.
Yeah, Cowboys fans were not happy at the end of the day there. So. Excellent. Well, thank you, Elliot. As always.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time. It is 8:57. Quick break before we get you in the news. Don't go away.
For over 40 years, Sierra Blanca Motors here in Roswell have been providing locals with quality vehicles and are committed to providing you quality vehicles and service for many years to come. No sales gimmicks, no inflated pricing, just a quality pre-owned vehicle listed at retail pricing or less. Have a used vehicle to sell? Get top trade-in value or an amazing cash offer today. Let Danny or Jose provide you a great car buying experience. Call 575-622-7907 or stop by Sierra Blanca Motors at 720 South Main Street in Roswell. Se habla español.
If your car breaks down, no need to cry, because there's always a pal nearby at Big O. At Big O Tires. Locally owned will get you in gear. That's because you've known us for years at Big O. And Big O Tires. Don't need to sweat any extra labor. You can always trust a good neighbor at Big O. At Big O Tires. The best service is part of our code. Need a cup of sugar? We're down the road at Big O. At Big O Tires.
Hurry into your local Big O Tires now through January 29th and buy 3 tires, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock Nexen or Aspen tires with installation purchase. That's right. Buy 3, get 1 free. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. That's 800-503-3735.
Accept your invitation to sit down and discuss a responsible debt ceiling increase to address irresponsible government spending. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said it's time for Congress to, in her words, do their duty and raise the debt limit. McCarthy is holding firm to a commitment he made to conservative elements in his own party to cut spending in order to win their votes to elect him Speaker. Bob Agnew reporting.
Yet another tech firm is slashing jobs. This time it's music streaming service Spotify, cutting 6% of its workforce as the economic picture darkens. In Monterey Park, just east of downtown Los Angeles,
Sheriff's homicide detectives are working around the clock, gathering additional information and working on determining the motive behind this extremely tragic event.
The tragic event the L.A. County Sheriff refers to as a shooting in the predominantly Asian American community.
The suspect in Saturday's deadly mass shooting in Southern California is dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside a white van after a standoff with police in Torrance. Authorities have identified him as 72-year-old Hu Can Tran, an Asian man who opened fire near a Lunar New Year celebration at a dance studio in Monterey Park that left 10 people dead and 10 others wounded. During a news conference, L.A. County Sheriff Robert Lunar said that California has some of the strictest gun laws in the country, yet look what happened today. Larry Marino, Los Angeles.
Stocks rallying this morning on Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is up 246 points, the Nasdaq ahead 172, and the S&P trading 41 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A nationwide blackout plunged Pakistan into the dark earlier today. Technicians were unable to get the lights back on after they shut the system off overnight in order to save energy.
Traffic lights down, fans stopped and lights off. Across Pakistan, businesses and homes have seen their electricity go down. Just after 7:30 this morning, according to the country's power minister, a power fluctuation in the grid occurred in southern Pakistan. This caused systems to shut down, resulting in outages around the country. Electricity has come back in some parts of Pakistan and work is ongoing to revive the system. The minister told the media that electricity would be completely restored within 12 hours.
The BBC's Caroline Davies. The French government presenting a bill that foresees broad changes in the country's pension system. Most notably, it would push back the legal retirement age from 62 to 64. News and analysis, townhall.com. A lot of people have been leaving Paradise lately as real estate prices there skyrocket.
Census Bureau says native Hawaiians who have been priced out of Hawaii finding more affordable places like Las Vegas. The biggest growth of native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islander populations in Clark County, Nevada.
Correspondent Jason Walker says Sacramento County, California, another popular destination for outbound Hawaiians. In Honolulu, the median price for a single-family home is now a budget-busting $1 million. Hawaii also has the highest cost of living of any of the 50 states. The race for the Republican National Committee chairmanship to be decided on Friday by secret ballot as Republican officials from all 50 states gather in Southern California. The current RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel, has been fighting to hold on to the top job at the RNC. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Oh, you're on 5.
Yes.
There you go. I put on 3 instead of 5, but he was at 5. Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Monday. Now he's on 3, moving from 5 to 3. So happy Monday, and happy. We were talking about shows in the break there that you got to wait 7 years between seasons to get up on, get back caught up on. And, we were talking about how Game of Thrones is going to do that to us, much like Sopranos did, and the first Game of Thrones did. So anyway,
it's mostly the premium shows, like the shows that are on like your HBOs, your Showtime.
HBO's notorious
because Curb was the one that Curb Enthusiasm was the one that comes to mind.
Well, they did it with all of their
That's
shows.
still not canceled. Like he'll just do a season every now and again when he feels like it.
Well, and that's because that show doesn't have a storyline.
That's true.
It's just pretty much, you could literally punch in on that show any episode at any season and be entertained and not have to, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of storyline that might take a little bit to get confusing, but you figure out the characters and everything pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's not like Game of Thrones or you miss an episode, you missed out half the story.
Right, where you have to know character arcs and things like that.
Yeah. You know what show that I really liked and then I really thought ended kind of meh was that Animal Kingdom.
I've heard a lot of people say the same thing, that it started off really, really strong and then it didn't
that last
hold.
season, it just, I don't know if it just said we're only doing one more season, that's it, you're done, because it just felt like they throw a lot at you in the last season and a half. Big stuff, and then it just ends. You're just like, you spent these 4 or 5 seasons prior kind of get me into these characters and building these characters, and then it's kind of like Enterprise. If you ever watched the Star Trek Enterprise.
I didn't, but I remember you talking a lot about it.
Very similar in that one, where they go into very big detail in building characters and creating story arcs the first couple seasons, and then that thing got canceled. So they had to sum it all up in like one season.
Right.
And it's just awful.
Yeah,
I feel like Animal Kingdom was almost like a victim of the same thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just got tired of doing it. But for a show they hyped and talked about and gave me all this stuff, it kind of ended like, that's it. We're done. We're not going to see any more of this. It's not see you next season. Or it's just, I don't know. It just left me.
Right.
Left me not thinking satisfied for the end. But anyway, happy Monday. We were talking TV
Welcome
and
to
all
it.
that. Hey, Roy, can you do me a favor? There's a piece of paper on the copier in the room next door. Can you grab that for me? I meant to grab it during the break, and I didn't get up to do it. So, who mind grabbing it? Cards.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ooh, it's got a fancy dark back.
It does.
Look at that. That's good stock. Good card stock. No, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, very good. Yes, that's the one I need. Thank you. I like that. Yes. Well, John's coming in a minute. That's the cover of his latest book. Once Upon a Time in Fort Sumter.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, Sumner. Sorry.
Sumner.
Not Sumter. That's the one in Carolina.
That's kind of confusing, though. It's like, we're not that one. We're the other one.
Yeah. Well, Fort Sumner with the T, that's the one in Carolina that started the Civil War.
Right.
Fort Sumner is the one a couple hours north of us, where Billy the Kid was killed. Anyway, John LeMay is going to join us here in just a little bit. We'll talk about his new book, give it an update on what's going on there. So, but back to the TV thing. One of the shows I kind of watched like that, because like right now I'm kind of in a lull because Mayor of Kingstown's the only one, and that's how the conversation started. Elliot was telling me he just started watching Mayor of Kingstown.
Oh yeah.
And that, if you're not familiar, Taylor Sheridan, he's the guy who did Yellowstone. He also did Mayor of Kingstown. He's also did Tulsa King. It's all Paramount Plus stuff.
He's prolific.
Yeah, those are his.
Okay.
But this Mayor of Kingstown, that came out after Yellowstone. It was before Tulsa King.
Mm-hmm.
Tulsa King, so the second season of Kingstown is just now coming out. I think episode 2 just premiered yesterday,
right.
Which I have not watched yet, so I got to get on that.
Mm-hmm.
The premise of that show is really good too. It's dark. It's darker than Yellowstone.
Okay.
Because the premise is it's a guy, Jeremy Renner, who plays this guy that his family was kind of this fixer group. Like in this community in New York City where they have the police force and the criminal element and they have a big prison in this town. And his family's kind of his dad, prior to him, was kind of the liaison to keep the peace between the prisoners, the guards, the law enforcement, and everybody work out the deals and keeping the community from getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad did it for many years. His dad dies, and so Jeremy Renner has to take over the business. His mom is a teacher at the prison, and she's not thrilled with the lifestyle choice and judges him. His brother is a cop, and so it's that dichotomy of him keeping the police and the criminals and everybody, playing nice, and the prison, and that's the premise of the show. And of course, it gets crazy by the time the end of the first season, but it's a really good show. And so we were just that's what spawned this whole conversation.
It's interesting to me to watch a show progress in a way where it's absolutely wild and crazy, but yet somehow they write it to where they can still rein it in.
Yeah.
Because I've watched shows go completely off the rails. The one that specifically comes to mind for me is Weeds.
Oh, yeah.
Weeds started so strong.
Yeah.
Suburban mom, just trying to make it work.
Then it went
for
into
kids.
cartels and all this other craziness.
By season 4, there was a tunnel under the border. I mean, it's
dating
it's one of those things where it's like they kept getting crazier and crazier, but they never had a chance to rein it in and say, okay, now we need to start bringing it back down to earth. But it's like if you look at Weeds next to a Breaking Bad, it's almost astonishing because they did just as crazy. They went just as far on Breaking Bad, but they still had the ability and the wherewithal to still bring it back down to earth.
Well, and in all fairness, I think Weeds was more of a comedic version, where it's where Breaking Bad's dark and ominous.
Weeds started as a comedy, but somewhere around season 2
but
maybe
that's what made it
1.
more of a dark comedy because they would still do the nasty, but then they crowbar the weed jokes.
Do the nasty.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so
and yeah, it seemed like they wanted to. What it was is it Genji Cohen? I think was the name of the creator of Weeds.
Okay.
Wanted to make a show that was like a dramedy, but more on the side of the comedy than the drama. Problem was, about midway through, I'm going to call it season 1, maybe season 2, they decided we want to be taken more seriously.
Yeah.
We don't want to be looked at as a comedic dramedy. We want to be looked at more as a dramatic dramedy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But look at the cast.
Well, yeah, but what ended up happening was they speed wobbled.
Yeah.
They got too, started going too crazy. And they're like, well, we don't know what side of what we're going to be on, and all of a sudden she's dating the head of the cartel.
Yeah.
The head of the cartel.
Yeah, it did go off the rails quick. And, you know what? I think what it is, I think we wanted Weeds to be more like Shameless.
Maybe.
Because Shameless kind of kept it, they kept it as the family thing.
Right.
They kept it in the family, and at the end of the day, the patriarch of the family's his downfall through life there, but I think if Weeds, I think Shameless was the comedy side that we wanted from Weeds and didn't get. I think that's my opinion.
See, I never watched Shameless, so I'd have to go back and check.
I love Shameless. I highly recommend you check out Shameless.
That's definitely on my list for sure.
It's a great. That's a Showtime show, but I think all the episodes are on Netflix now.
Okay.
I think the last season's up there too. Everything's up there now.
Sweet.
So. But yeah,
take a look.
They'll take it. There's 7-8 seasons there, so it'll take you a little bit to get through.
It's funny, getting to watch somebody experience a series that you've experienced, but through fresh eyes. Tanner is currently watching through Better Call Saul.
Ah.
And he just got into the 4th season, I believe it was. Because he was under the mindset that season 5 was the end. Like, no, there's a season 6. He was so like boyishly excited that there was a whole new season. But just to kind of like sit there and listen to him talk about it and describe it the way I was when I was first excited about it, when I first watched it.
Right.
That's a fun experience. Yeah. I almost get jealous of people who get to experience things for the first time again.
You know what show I'm kind of wishing like that I really liked? And then it ended kind of but Sons of Anarchy. Right. I loved that show. I didn't get into it to about 4 or 5 seasons in, and then I caught up. But those last couple seasons, I was watching religiously on the whatever night it came out on FX, and was watching. And I was genuinely disappointed when that series ended, even though it didn't end the way I wanted it to. Right. And I kind of was like, eh. But the fact that I was like, I don't have any more Sons of Anarchy to watch, and the Mayans is not as good. It's just not. It's all right. It's not my. I don't like it as much. I don't get involved in I don't get invested with the characters as much. They don't. I don't know. They don't seem as.
When you do a spinoff like that, you run a real risk of doing the same show over again.
And to be honest, the Mayans were kind of the bad guys of the Sons of Anarchy the first couple seasons. They kind of joined forces towards the later half. But it's kind of like watching G.I. Joe, and then they do a show called Cobra, and it's all about Cobra. Which probably had happened. I don't know, but you may like it, but you don't feel the same about the people. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about Mayans.
Right.
Anyway, John. I think John's here. I don't know if John's here or is that Elliot and them talking. I can't tell.
John.
John LeMay with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico is going to join us here in just a bit, talking about his newest book, Once Upon a Time in Fort Sumner, which. Here's the cover art. Well, I'm a little off on my camera. Let me go over here. There we can see it a little bit better. There it is. So John's going to join us. Or if you're watching from the Sean angle, you can go this way.
Well played, sir.
Or this way.
Camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 1.
Camera 1.
Camera 2.
Sorry, I'm 7. I got a montage of 7, and I play that way. So, but John will join us here in just a few minutes. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. Could get some snow.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like we've got a pretty big storm system on the way, and that'll be affecting us tonight and into Tuesday. Clouds coming in today. Our afternoon high in the low to mid 50s. We'll have rain this evening, changing over to snow after midnight. Little bit of accumulation. Our low in the upper 20s, and then snow on Tuesday morning. Clearing up a little bit in the afternoon, breezy, and our high near 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I got to get to the weather and refresh it because I did not. And it needs to. All right. Currently, come on. There she goes. 37 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 48%. Winds currently out of the east at 8 miles per hour. We do have a winter weather advisory that will take effect beginning at 6 p.m. this evening and remaining in effect through noon tomorrow. That's because there is a chance of snow and rain here this evening, overnight particularly. We do have a 30% chance at some rain showers after 5 p.m. today. Otherwise cloudy, highs near 50 expected. So what you're seeing is what you're going to see, but we got about another 10, 13 degrees of warmth to get to. But 50 is what they're saying for a high. For tonight, we are looking at a plethora of rain and then changing over to snow. But we do have rain to start the evening, likely rain until about 11. And then the rain will change over to rain and snow between 11 and 2. And then about 2 a.m. converting to entirely just snow. Expect an overnight low of 29 degrees with east winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Our chance of precip tonight is at 90%, and they're expecting 1 to 3 inches of snow overnight. So when you wake up in the morning, could be anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow on the ground. For you Tuesday, probably going to have some delays. We'll have all that information for you tomorrow morning, no problem. But for you Tuesday, we are looking at a 50% chance at snow showers before 11. Skies will be cloudy, but gradually clearing throughout the day. High of 45 with winds out of the north 10 to 15. They're expecting less than a half inch of snow if we get any accumulations tomorrow. But the way I'm reading this is we're going to get some rain, and then the snow will get an inch or two tonight, and might get a little bit of snow flurries and things tomorrow. And then about midday, the sun's going to come out and start melting all this stuff. And about probably 2 in the afternoon, it'll all be gone. That's my guess. For Tuesday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 24, north winds 5 to 10. Wednesday, mostly sunny and 45, north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly sunny and 42. Friday, sunny skies and 48. And then for the weekend, mostly sunny 55 on Saturday and sunny and 54 on Sunday. All right, it is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. I have not seen John LeMay yet. Thought he was here, but we'll go ahead and take a quick commercial break. If John comes in, great. If not, we'll chit-chat or do something until he gets here. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
With the hustle, bustle, and bright lights of the holidays in the rearview mirror, it's time to ease into the new year with a new car or truck from your friends at Roswell Ford. Because nobody makes car buying easier. With more than 500 pre-owned vehicles in stock and brand new units arriving all the time, finding the perfect vehicle is easy. A 3-day money-back guarantee on all pre-owned vehicles makes the decision easy. No payments for 90 days easily gives you time to put those holiday expenses behind you. And with a goal of 100% credit approval, Roswell Ford even makes financing easy, regardless of your credit situation. And we happily accept I-10s. Like I said, easy. So make some time and come see what we have for you at the Tailgate Nation. Whatever you're looking for, you can count on Roswell Ford to keep it simple and make it easy. We're waiting for you now at the corner of 9th and Main, so we're even easy to find.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Happiness isn't about getting what you want all the time. It's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smitherman for The Joy of Marriage.
As people, we can get so focused on what we don't have, we don't appreciate what we do have. We can make ourselves miserable, angry, and even depressed by focusing our thoughts and words on the negative. Take a look around and find something to be grateful for that your spouse does. It will change your attitude in your marriage.
1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "No matter what happens, always be thankful, for this is God's will for you who belong to Christ Jesus."
Take it from me, I was such a negative person, but by renewing my mind with God's Word and learning to be thankful, it changed my life and greatly impacted my marriage. If
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock. I have not seen John LeMay yet, so we'll give him a couple more minutes. But if he doesn't make it in the next 3 or 4 minutes here, I'm going to play an interview we had. Last week, we had Congresswoman Teresa Ledger Fernandez join us on the phone for a few minutes last week. And I believe it was Friday or Thursday I talked to her. And she was in town for a few days, but just talking a little bit about, her first part in office, talking about, the new territory that's part of her redistricting, which is now most of Roswell here. So we talk a little bit about that, have a great conversation. So I'll play that for you here in just a few if we don't hear from John. But John was going to come in and join us and tell us about his new book. It's called Once Upon a Time in Fort Sumter, and it's Billy the Kid and all of that. It's pretty cool. I don't know the whole story, so we'll get John back in and talk more about it. But if you go on Amazon, he's got his books there. If you go to the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico's website, you can get a lot of his books and a lot of our local authors. I imagine the newest book will be available on the website as well. Just go to roswellnmhistory.org. roswellnmhistory.org, and you can get copies of John's books and also Peter Hurd prints, and if you want Elvis books or any of our other local authors, a lot of them you'll find right there at the Historical Society's website, which is, again, www.roswellnmhistory.org. Let's see here. Here we go. I got Elliot's new card, so if we were talking to him last hour from Lone Depot. His new office is at 204 West 2nd. So if you want to stop by there or call him, call the office number 505-445-2070 or his cell direct 719-237-4680. So there's that there. All right, it is 28 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get that interview started with Teresa Ledger Fernandez. She joined us on the phone last Thursday for a few minutes. I aired it Friday. She was in town over the weekend and visiting, but a lot of it just talking about, settling in the new redistrict and talking about really her passions with just a lot of stuff with Farm Bill and that kind of thing. That's where her passions lie. But we talk about that. So here's that interview with Congresswoman Teresa Ledger Fernandez. Enjoy. And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us on the phone this morning, representing Congressional District 3, we have Congresswoman Teresa Ledger Fernandez joining us on the phone. Ma'am, first off, thank you for spending some time to talk to us today. We really do appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Mike, for having me on, and hello to everybody in the listening realm of KDN.
Well, it's now it's kind of new. Obviously, you're now with the redistricting that was done here in the state of New Mexico. Your district now has some new territory, and for most of us here in Roswell, we fall under that CD3 here. I know some will be under CD1 still, and even other parts of the county are in CD2, but for the most part, I think most of Roswell's under CD3. So I imagine for you, is it different? When you're, because obviously territories change, and so the people you represent change. Does that change, your strategy a little bit and who you talk to and how you do your job? Does it change at all, or is it pretty much the same?
That's a great question, Mike. And the short answer is it doesn't change how I do my job. Sure. It just changes where I do my job. And I will say that I'm looking forward to going to Roswell. This will be my first trip in my official capacity as your Congresswoman. Yes. But when they did the redistricting, it was done in December, and I was down in Roswell in January because I wanted to make sure I started introducing myself, sure, listening to what the issues are. And, what I always say is the title of my job is also the job description, and that is representative. I represent the communities in CD3, and some of the issues are very similar to other parts of my district, and others are unique. I will say part of what I'll be doing on this official visit is talking to ranchers, is going to Head Starts, talking to people in the business community. those are similar things that I do in Clovis or in Santa Fe or in San Miguel. You know, I come from a ranching background. I am not a rancher, and my father left it when he left to go serve in the military. But you know, all my uncles and grandparents and, you know, on both sides of the family had ranches. And so that will be a big issue that we take up because we have the Farm Bill coming up. And I want to make sure I hear from people in Chavez County, people in Lee County. What are the issues that you see that we need to address in the Farm Bill?
Sure. And obviously, you know, the state of New Mexico, and like you said, with your family, your background of farming and ranching, not only is it a backbone here in New Mexico, but it's a world thing. I mean, I've had this conversation with a lot of folks where when you look at globally, we as a planet have to figure out, you know, we've got more people on the planet and less people making the food to feed everybody. We got to figure out a way to make sure everyone's still fed, and that's. You know, people can argue the good and bads of the Farm Bill, but at the end of the day, that's what we're all as a country and as a planet trying to figure out. Am I pretty close there?
Yes, and the Farm Bill gets authorized every 5 years. And so every 5 years, we take a look and say, what are the priorities that we want to make sure we address? And it's really targeted in three areas. One is people don't realize, but our lunches and the school lunches, helping to feed the hungry, those all come out of the Farm Bill. So there's a part of the Farm Bill which is let's make sure that in a land of abundance, which is the United States, that we do not have hunger and those that go without. The other big part of the Farm Bill is how do we help our ranchers and farmers actually get the food to us? How do we help them in that essential enterprise of feeding our state, of feeding our country? And then I think you touched on it a bit, which is that it's also economic development. We need to recognize that in New Mexico, we are a rural state, and we rely on our rural counties, our ranchers and farmers. They are an incredible economic engine for our state. And when we recognize that they are the solution to many of our problems, that's how you can highlight what they're doing and how we can come in and in our role at the federal level, help our ranchers and farmers to accomplish all those jobs, to make sure we're fed, to make sure that our children get healthy school lunches, and to create that economic development.
Sure. Does some of this, and I know when we talk at like a state, we talk like with say our school districts and things here. There's a lot in the works at local, state, and county and levels and district levels, talking about the farm to table, where local schools are actually utilizing the local farms to bring in some of the produce and things. Does some of the stuff in the Farm Bill deal with some of that on a national scale, or is that a different area and I'm kind of out of my element there?
You are exactly in your element.
Okay.
I need to tell you that's exactly one of the areas that we want to emphasize so that we strengthen, these supply chain problems that we kept hearing about, right? They're real, right? When we are trying to get what we need to survive and thrive across oceans or even across, that's going from one part of the United States to another, we are stronger on our economy when we can get more locally. And so what we need to do is make sure that the Farm Bill and the USDA programs promote that local, the use of local food for our schools, as an example. And there are ways of doing that, and I have been pushing and promoting that. But what I need to know is I'm your congressperson. So what is my job? My job is to listen. My job is to listen to those who are experts on the ground. Tell me, how would they like to see it work? What is working and what's not working? So that's my job, is to go down and meet with the ranchers and farmers. This will be my third, farm to table. I call them farm to Congress conversations. So my third Farm to Congress conversations, my first one really did deal specifically with, from the perspective of the schools and the local initiative, the farmers markets programs, right, where people up here, there are many, I don't know about the farmers markets down there, but I'm going to find out more, where we do the double up bucks so that people who are receiving assistance to help with food costs, if they buy at the local farmers markets, they actually can basically get double their value. Because we know sometimes buying local is a little bit more expensive. The quality is better and you're helping your own community, but it is a little more expensive. We need to recognize that and pay that value. And so the double up bucks, which are used for people who need a little help getting their food, is a great example of how we need to make sure that that becomes institutionalized so it's available to everybody across New Mexico and across the United States. That's local, getting the local produce to our schools or hospitals, our restaurants, and into people's homes.
Sure. Now, like you said, you're going to be here in Roswell for the next couple of days. Like you said, you're visiting farmers, ranchers. Is there any visits here over the next day or two in Roswell that say the public can come and meet and visit and hear you speak or ask questions, or is it strictly kind of just visiting farms and ranches while you're here?
Yeah, well, I'm also meeting with the Roswell Rotary Club, and so in fact, I drive down, and the first meeting I have will be with the Roswell Rotary Club, and I'm also going to a Head Start there with Felicia Juarez. I'm getting a tour of CASA, which deals with children who need assistance and within the court system. So I'm doing a wide range of activities. I hope to go to the basketball game in the evening. You know, that will be a lot of fun. So
good deal.
I'll go to the basketball game, and I'll have to stay out of rooting for one or another because I represent both Portales and Roswell. So just putting it up there, I'll have a poker face on. I'll clap for every single point that is earned by either party.
There you go. Well, you can just make sure if you're near the Portales Press, you cheer in Portales, and the Roswell Press cheer for Roswell.
I will say the press is open. These meetings are open to the press because we're welcoming people to come and the press to come because that is a great way for people to understand what we're doing. So we have invited the press to these meetings.
Sure,
because transparency is essential. I want everybody to know that I'm there. I want them to know that my job is to listen. So in order to do that, we need to let you all know that I'm going down there and the things I'm talking about. I also would encourage everybody, go on to my website. It's at fernandez.house.gov, fernandez.house.gov. We have a newsletter that we send out, about every other week, letting everybody know what I'm doing because we want you, my constituents, to know what I've been up to. We want you to be able to, if you can't come to a meeting, you to be able to send us letters. We get thousands of letters and emails, and we strive really hard to make sure we respond to them. Sometimes it's with a phone call, sometimes it's with a letter in response. But getting input from my constituents is key because, once again, I can't represent you. I can't be your representative if I don't know what your issues and concerns are.
Well, we do appreciate you spending time to visit and things like that. I think it's sometimes in just no one's fault or whatever, but just feels like sometimes we get forgotten about sometimes in this part of the wood by folks up north there. So it's nice to have our representatives here and visit. So I greatly appreciate and hope to see a bunch of you over the next 2 years and however long that you're our representative here. But I do have a question. And just stuff and reading about you and everything is, and growing up and where you grew up and like you said, is kind of is this your passion? Like why, one of the reasons why you decide to go for Congress is the food and the ranch is like, because I just got a sense that this is kind of like your passion project. This is the area that you feel like I can do the best to help people, and this is, am I close or is that just one of many for you?
No, you're really hitting it on the nail a lot here,
sure.
Mike. So, yes, I recognize that New Mexico is a rural state.
Yeah.
And I know small places can do big things. But we also need to give support to those small places so they can do big things. And that's the role of government. I'm a big believer in business, and I helped start many a small business in my career before I became a congresswoman. I did about $1 billion worth of financing, helped build, businesses and restaurants and hotels and Head Starts and house clinics. So I understand the importance of what are the building blocks for strong communities.
Sure.
And New Mexico is rural, and our unique cultural traditions are something that I think that I value very much, and so that's why I'm very honored and proud to be able to represent, yet another rural area, Roswell, Artesia, Lovington, and economic development is a big part. I went to graduate school actually to study economic development, and when I look at Roswell, that airport that you guys have, that is a source for a lot of interesting potential. And I know that your mayor and the Chamber of Commerce and different businesses are indeed looking to help it. I want to be your partner on those things. I want to see if we can find you the federal programs that make sense to help lift that up. I want to make sure we help expand the economy there in Roswell and throughout New Mexico. And because I think that that's what you need. We need government to provide the basic infrastructure, right? Broadband, water. I worked really hard on the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which is bringing hundreds of millions of dollars to New Mexico for water, making sure all of New Mexico gets covered that has access to broadband. Let's fix these roads of ours that have too many potholes in them, right? We need to get that infrastructure fixed so that then our businesses can grow and thrive.
Sure.
But that's how I kind of see how you look at any community in New Mexico. It has amazing potential and opportunity. We just need to make sure that we remove obstacles that might exist to that opportunity, and then give support where there is a need for support, like putting in the basic infrastructure.
Sure. And that's something that, as a state, we're going to keep growing and going for. And it's, I think, and then that's at the end of the day, I think we all want that. We all may not, when we talk Republican, Democrat and things, at the end of the day, we all want these things. We all just don't quite agree on how to do it that way. And that's the part where it can be healthy, where we say, hey, we see differing opinions and things like that. So I love that, it seems like just, our conversation here and just stuff I've read, it just seems like that you have that grassroots kind of feel like, this is, it's New Mexico thing, and you're representing New Mexico, and you understand New Mexico, and I think even though as well as everybody else knows, Roswell's a conservative area. Even though they may not agree with you politically, I think they can understand your passion and your just love of New Mexico, and I think that's the common ground we can all come and get some good work done. Does that make sense?
That is absolutely true. You know what? A pothole isn't red or green.
Yeah.
It is something that messes up our trucks,
Sure.
and we need to fix it, right?
Yeah.
Now, red and green is our state question, and that's the Chile, right? But we might, and I think the goal is to have that key point of listening,
Sure.
right? And you will see if you look at my past record, I spend a lot of time, help to we got $177 million to help Portales and Clovis with their water system, because that was key. That was the first thing they told me they needed when I went to go visit them first as a candidate, saying I'm running, and then when I became a congresswoman, I heard about that, and I heard about the dairy farms that have been contaminated with PFAS. I went to work on both of those issues. If you ask the dairy farmers up there, they'll say, she showed up, she listened, and we got USDA to change the law. I showed up, I listened. We got $177 million for the water project. I don't know what Roswell's needs are. I have some idea because, as I said, I've been going down there.
Sure.
as a candidate, but it's really exciting to be going down there as your congresswoman, because I will be bringing with me my staff, because my staff is amazing. They get great things done. And one of the great things that people need to know, that your congresswoman's office is here to serve you. And we are the WD-40 for federal agencies. A lot of times, say that's coming from grassroots, knowing how to, how to fix things with baling wire and masking tape and WD-40, right? Sometimes things get stuck in the federal agencies. People aren't getting their VA benefits. Their Social Security got messed up. A range of federal issues. Mm-hmm. You can call our staff, and we will go to bat for you. We cannot make the decision, but we can help unstick it, and we are going to be with you. We serve you, and we will call up the agencies. Whichever federal agency is, we will be your can of WD-40 to try to unstick things that are stuck in the federal agencies. As Constituent Services, Carlos Sanchez, who is my Director of Constituent Services, he'll be down there. Sochi Campos-Biggs, who's my District Director, will also be with there. Okay. Ben Salazar, who's at Clovis right now, will be there. So we want to introduce our entire team to the people in Chavez County.
Excellent. Well, we do look forward to your visit here, and I look forward to in the future here getting you in studio, and we'll have some morning conversations on the radio here, and just keeping people up to date on what's going on in Congress, and especially I would love when you get those free times. Obviously, when you're on Capitol Hill and we see the news and we see all what's going on there, trying to make heads or tails of what's going on in Congress. Whenever you get those free moments to call us and kind of keep us up to date on that, we greatly appreciate it.
Oh, that sounds so much fun. We will most definitely do it. And if you see something, it's like, okay, I want her to tell us what's happening. You have our number. Give us a call. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Congresswoman. Look forward to the visit, and we look forward to seeing you here in town.
Thank you, Mike.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Los Alamos National Laboratory researchers say they're studying a 2020 incident in which thousands of migratory birds simply dropped dead over New Mexico. They're possibly saying it's due to climate change. Hundreds of millions of birds fly south in the winter and north in the summer. But recent studies by NASA and others show climate change could be interfering with that annual cycle, and those disruptions could ripple through the entire ecosystem. Gene Fair, a Los Alamos National Lab scientist and one of the researchers studying the 2020 incident, said the birds experienced 3 different extreme weather events that year. Plans to add more parking lots at the Roswell Air Center. 2 new paved lots are planned, with completion expected by the end of June, according to City Council documents. The council expected to begin reviewing bids for the work from contractors this week. Air Center Director Jennifer Griego recently told the council that, especially on Fridays, it's nearly impossible to find a parking space. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
We spent $61 million on this World Economic Forum. Well, what did we learn this week beyond the fact that Al Gore thinks that the oceans are boiling and we have rain bombs out there in the world? Here you have former British Prime Minister Tony Blair saying there needs to be a global database for vaccinations. Hey, Tony, go jump in a lake. And we're paying for this crap. Why are we paying for this crap? You have one speaker calling for 1 billion people to stop eating meat for innovation in the environment. Meanwhile, they got 1,000 private jets there. I don't care about the private jet. If you're not a hypocrite telling me not to eat meat, I eat paleo. All I eat is meat.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Do you have more than $50,000 saved for retirement that you can't afford to lose? Biden's pro-inflation White House sent billions to Ukraine, burying U.S. in national debt, while doing nothing to stop inflation and help our own country. Can your retirement survive crippling inflation and growing debt at the same time? If you have $50,000 or more saved for retirement, heed the warnings. Do something to protect yourself now. That's why, right now, thousands of Americans are using an IRS loophole to protect their retirement savings from everything that's going on. So call 855-815-GOLD to get your free IRS loophole kit and see how you could protect your retirement savings while getting up to $10,000 in free silver for doing it. We could be looking at a future worse than 2008. So don't wait. Call Gold Code today. Call 855-815-GOLD. That's 855-815-GOLD.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like we've got a pretty big storm system on the way, and that'll be affecting us tonight and into Tuesday. Clouds coming in today. Our afternoon high in the low to mid 50s. We'll have rain this evening, changing over to snow after midnight. Little bit of accumulation. Our low in the upper 20s, and then snow on Tuesday morning. Clearing up a little bit in the afternoon, breezy, and our high near 40. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Music streaming service Spotify cutting 6% of its workforce, another tech company resorting to layoffs in tough economic times. Spotify joins the likes of Microsoft, Amazon, Intel, and Google, all of them cutting jobs. Spotify will lay off as many as 600 of its employees. The feds have closed a years-long investigation into exhaust odors in Ford Explorer passenger cabins, determining that the SUVs do not have high levels of carbon monoxide and do not need to be recalled. Wall Street opened higher this morning, the market preparing for another big round of corporate earnings reports. Companies reporting quarterly results this week include Microsoft and Boeing, Tesla, and Southwest Airlines. Investors also hoping the Fed will be scaling back the pace of its interest rate hikes at its policy meeting next week. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
When Rhonda was experiencing severe abdominal pain, she knew she could count on Artesia General Hospital's emergency department to provide critical care any time of day or night.
I didn't think twice about driving the 45 minutes from my home to Artesia's ER. I felt like I was their only patient. Excellent care from everyone, and I'm thankful beyond measure.
Each year, thousands of patients trust Artesia General Hospital with their health emergency. With specialty certifications in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma care, their emergency room physicians have the experience you need when every second counts. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
Happy New Year from the Plateau family to yours. Give your whole home the gift of ultimate connectivity in 2023. For a limited time, receive a free Visa gift card when you sign up for a True Fiber Internet plan from Plateau. Up to $250 for new True Gig customers. With Plateau's True Fiber Internet, hit unbelievable speed for streaming, gaming, working from home, and so much more. And for a limited time, new customers get a free Visa gift card. Learn more and sign up now at plateautel.com. plateautel.com. Offer valid only for new customers within the Roswell Fiber connected zones, now extended through January 31st, 2023.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Drive into 2023 with a little extra fold-in money during Sell-Off Mania at Roswell Honda. With savings across the lot, like a 2015 Toyota Camry for just $289 a month, a 2017 Kia Optima for just $259 a month, or a 2016 Hyundai Elantra for just $189 a month. Get a 12-pack and grab cash from the Cash Cube just for stopping by, a gas card or a smartwatch with a test drive, and an Amazon gift card with any purchase. And sign up to win a $400 Visa gift card to be given away Saturday, January 28th at 1 p.m. Sell-Off Mania, on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:55. Got a few minutes here before we wrap up the show and get kicked off La Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you putting that thing up there? Clear message. Let's do that. The monitor. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, now it goes away. The monitor this thing came up about a message. I'm like, ugh. And our monitor's like old and decrepit, so it's not like highfalutin and fancy to give me like good messages. All old ones. Go ahead.
It's weird how things happen in like cycles. Like all of a sudden, what I just showed you, all of a sudden slap fighting is a thing.
Yeah.
It's like 2 years ago, nobody was doing that, I don't think, but
every video I've
now.
seen is there's money invested in this. It's like big time, uniforms and TV and
the dude.
It looks like a real sporting event.
Dana White is behind it.
Is that his deal?
He's which is ironic because he's up right now for slapping his wife.
Right, domestic violence.
He was just practicing for the show. But no, it's just like, and it always makes me think. It's like, so for every one of those weird, random like bar sports you see, there's somewhere like a whole magazine devoted to it, and like people who are sponsored players of that thing.
Yeah.
Like there's a what was the one I saw the other day? Tag. There's professional tag.
That's like the keepy uppy thing.
Yeah, it's right up there with that kind of thing. It's like it's amazing that you can actually be paid to do that as a sport.
But those are at least fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like playing tag, playing keepy uppy. I would even argue boxing and MMA have a place because, I could see why people enjoy that. Okay? I do not understand as a participant.
Right.
Sure, there's always going to be rubberneckers that watch it because, yes. I don't get it why would anyone want to participate in slap fighting? It doesn't, like, at least with fighting.
Nothing I've
you're
seen.
Learning, like, what skills are you learning other than how to slap the daylights out of
There's
someone?
no form to it. All you're building is a stronger reserve in one cheek.
Yeah. At least with MMA, it's martial arts. You're learning the art. You're learning the discipline. You're learning slapping, you're literally, what's your greatest feat? The ability to take pain and to dish it out.
Right.
At least with MMA, there's studying and, you know what I mean? There's a lot more to it than just...
I would argue that the only reason slap fighting is so big today is because of the advent of slow motion cameras. Because it's just so much more fun to watch a face go...
Yeah.
So maybe that's the only reason it ever became...
But that's all for the audience.
Right, 100%.
What does someone want to be in there and say, I would love... have people slap the garbage off me, and me do the same. Like that one video of that guy's face where he literally looks like he got beaten up on one side of his face. Like one side looks normal, the other side looks like Rocky Dennis from that movie Mask with Cher.
The best comment I saw online was that dude just slapped that guy into an N64 GoldenEye character.
Yeah. And if you have no idea what you're talking about, good for you that you were able to avoid life without seeing this.
Yeah, because it was everywhere.
But anywhere on social media, there's this whole slap fight thing. I guess, do they show it on TV? Like, can I tune into ESPN or something?
Yeah,
to watch this?
So on this show called the Slap, I think it's called The Slap.
But is it on regular TV or is it like pay-per-view or?
No, it's like TNT.
Or okay, so it's on a network channel.
It is. It's like, as a matter of fact, it comes on, I think, right after Dynamite.
What's Dynamite? I don't even know what that is.
It's the wrestling show I watch. AEW.
Okay.
Well, there's Dynamite and Rampage. So Dynamite on Wednesdays, and Rampage on Fridays. But again, it's not a good crossover. I don't think.
Yeah, I can see why an audience will want to watch it. I just don't get
his show's called Power Slap.
Why any person wants to be a professional slapper or whatever you call that. What are you? I'm a professional slapper.
Yeah,
I get slapped and slap people.
This is just what I do.
What kind of money are these people making?
I mean, it's got to be good. It's got to be great because why would you do this to yourself for less than six figures?
Yeah, but it's all about advertising. The money's good because people are investing in it.
And that's what I'm saying. I just stumbled on this story. It says, Recipe for Disaster, the Power Slap League and why neurologists are concerned. And it makes sense because your brain is here.
You're probably guaranteed to get a
here.
concussion every time you play.
Oh, 100%.
By the end of it, maybe one slap you're good, but if you last more than a round or two, you're probably getting a concussion.
Because your brain is bouncing around inside your skull every time you get hit.
Like, I don't know how many rounds these atypically go.
3 rounds.
Okay, it doesn't go until someone taps out, or?
No.
Okay.
Okay, it's 3 rounds or until somebody gives up.
So does it go to the judges after 3 rounds?
Probably. Or just whoever looks.
How does one judge a slap fight? I mean, there's so many questions I have.
There really are. There's a lot of A lot of gray area here.
Well, we'll find out more as it happens.
Yeah,
we got to go.
1 week in.
That's right. Where you got to go. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
See you.
KEND or Roswell, New Mexico. Take care, everybody.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The investigation continues after a California dance club shooting that left 10 people dead and the 72-year-old suspect then killing himself. Authorities say the man killed himself as police officers closed in on the van that he used to flee the scene of an attempted second shooting. Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna.
I was informed before coming out here, we still have 7 people, 7 victims who are hospitalized. And I'm sure that the work of our firefighters and police officers contributed to saving at least those lives.
The victims' conditions range from stable to critical. Also at townhall.com, an attorney for Joe Biden says additional documents with classified markings were found at the president's Wilmington home on Friday.